Joey.
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 Joey. All right. Well, what's up, guys? It
Joey.
is Dropped Gears post XPEvo trauma. I mean,
Trauma?
post XPEvo. How are you guys? Lime, Shorty. How are you guys doing? Are you recovering well?
I'm still. Oh my god, is it laggy for me or for everyone? I don't know, but I'm
It's
still.
laggy on Chris's
sad.
like Discord stream.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still coming back to life.
What?
My CPU's. Yeah, probably. Wait, I need to get rid of all the shit that I have here.
While she's doing that, Shorty, how are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. I made it back safely somehow. And
Yeah, I'm
as
really
far as
happy
that
you're alive.
goes, yeah, I'm also. What? Yeah, I'm also also happy I'm alive.
That's good. That's good. We're all COVID free, by the way, as far as we
know.
know.
So far.
So we did not get the scrappy virus. I mean, the XPEvo land virus.
Was he sick?
He
He was sick, but he didn't have COVID.
Okay.
And I don't think he has it now either. He had just had the common flu a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's
It's
fine.
fair. Yeah. So yeah, tonight is just going to be a general recap of XPEvo, like kind of maybe some behind the scenes stuff that nobody knows. During the entire time, you guys can ask questions, and I'll try to answer them as much as possible. And if there's too many questions at the same time, you might get missed. So I apologize for that on the ahead of time. Speaking of which, I've watched multiple of the VODs I've done, and most of it is me basically going and and so yeah.
I mean, I tried to watch a little bit of the stuff, but it was interesting. Like, I still love the clip with you asking, yeah, so can you please cheer for Scrappy, and just one random guy just
Boom!
shot spam.
Yeah, thanks Legion 2K for that one, for that wonderful moment. No, it was actually really funny, and I was genuinely like surprised by that. But yeah, it was
I mean, he
fun.
did right. He didn't listen and just randomly shouted spam. So but great timing.
I'm still in here.
Hello? Yes, I'm
Yeah.
back. Wow. Okay.
Wow. She's still living.
Wow.
Amazing.
I moved the camera so that people can see Gecko playing in the background.
Ah,
So this is gonna be like one of the Subway Surfers type of video where we talk and we have some gameplay.
yeah, no,
mean,
it's
that
the
kind of makes me-
ADHD friendly stream where the ADHDers
Yes.
can watch Echo play while we're talking. So
Echo or Gecko? I'm foul.
Gecko. Sorry. Tired. I'm still recovering.
This kind of feels like when we were at Trackmania and Gecko was playing in the final of the tech tournament, and he was just sitting there without headphones. We were just talking, and at some point I was like, "Yeah, guys, maybe we should be a little bit silent." Gecko's like literally right next to us, and he was just, "Ah, no, it's fine. Actually, I enjoy your talk."
Oh. So let's try to put a timeline for this for everyone. XPEvo started. Oh, I'll do my bit and then I'll let you guys chime in. How about that? And
Yep.
we'll do it that way. XPEvo for me actually started all the way back in March. I'm not gonna go like through every single detail, but like XPEvo started all the way back then.
The Marius kind of storytelling. Okay, let's start with XPEvo. Okay, 1 hour, 1 year earlier.
But no, we were like for real. XPEvo was kind of one of those things where it was like we had no idea what was going to happen. It kind of happened randomly. It literally took one Twitter DM from me to Experion to basically tell them what happened at Tricadia and like see if there's a possibility. Eduardo, which maybe some of you folks got to meet at the venue. Eduardo's their marketing guy. He was the one who like handled all the initial communications with Mel and the bosses, and then it went to Mel, and then after that it became XPEvo. But no, the actual event started for me on Tuesday when I met with production. We didn't get to do anything really because they had a show going on that evening. So I went there and I went home. And then Wednesday, I went back there and it was preparation. And the preparation for Wednesday and Thursday actually went, for me, from my perspective, went really well. So like I was feeling really good. The podcast also happened that evening, which is where you guys came in. I felt like the podcast went really well also. So
The podcast was so fast.
yeah, it was
We
only
did
an
it so
hour.
quick, and then I was like, It felt like the podcast there at XPEvo. It felt exactly like the first podcast that we had,
Yeah.
kinda ish.
It
Like we
was
were
weird.
nervous. We had some
It was
topics. We were
nerve-wracking.
talking, but it felt like I don't know, I don't know.
oh, Vinca Raiders. Yeah. It was nerve-wracking for the XP votings.
I'm sorry. Can you check the message of
Prayed
the
for
rain?
Lime, but other people are
I
okay,
don't know.
also
Okay.
okay. Yeah, thanks, Mark Raider
Thank
is
you.
really mad. Um,
I think I'm happy with being okay.
yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with being okay. That's fine.
Yes, I.
As long as there's no
Okay.
tomato throwing at me. Yeah, Thursday was fun, and so I was feeling good. And then I have to tell this story to explain for those who saw me on Friday, and if I looked like I just seen a ghost, it's because I did. On Thursday evening after the podcast, we all go back to our Airbnb. There's 12 of us there, 7 admins and 4 of the casters. Well, 5 of the casters or whatever. And we get to the Airbnb. Nico and Gouda go up to their room. And if anybody remembers Thursday, there was a lot of rain on Thursday.
Oh,
So
you're
they
gonna tell that story? Oh god,
so
oh
they
god.
go up to the room and the window was open and there was rain and the wood floors got damaged and yeah, like ruined. So
I mean, it wasn't like a typical window, right? It was one of
it
those
was those ceiling
ceiling
windows.
windows.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I had to deal with that on Friday morning when I should have been at production. So I had to call the owner, get
Yeah.
that
Also,
all
I remember I
handled.
was asking your input. When should I be there? And I specifically told you I'm gonna be there at 10:30 because I was thinking. I mean, we did all the production tests and everything. We literally just have to make sure it works and easy
Yeah.
going. So 30 minutes should be
I
enough
had
time. You
planned
were
to be
like,
there that morning.
yeah.
It did not
And
happen.
then I was earlier there because you told me I should be there earlier. I was like, where's Lime? Where's import? What am I doing here?
I can't speak for Lime, but I was preoccupied that morning.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
morning I was
Somebody
pretty
told me.
occupied too. Um, Sleeping.
Yeah. So so already
Understandable.
the first really bad omen had occurred for me.
Uh,
And then Friday came along. Preparation for Friday was relatively okay. Everything seemed okay. I'm not going to go into the tournament stuff. We all know what happened, but like from my perspective, if I looked like I was going to die, run away or like cry off stream, not on streams. I don't know how. I watched the VODs on stream. I look like nothing's wrong.
I mean,
Like,
to be fair though, I don't know how you felt about it, but I was there when they were talking about it with Gouda being there because I mean, obviously it was kind of his fault, so he was responsible for it, right? And he
yes.
told me that everything is basically getting taken care of, and there is no issue. The owner isn't mad or anything. And
Yeah, I mean that was kind of the owner was relatively chill about it. I mean, he was disappointed, but he was relatively chill. Gouda gave him all his insurance info. So as far as that being taken care of, sure, but there has to be an inspection of the wood floor. They're going to have to pull it up. They're going to have to make sure the floor underneath is not damaged. Like,
oh, they have to do
yes,
a full thingy.
yeah, they're going to have to do a full thing of like inspecting like
Jesus.
everything. So it's like, yes, the owner like and Gouda have it taken care of, but it's like there's still so many things that could still happen, and I'm probably not going to hear about it for another month. So yeah, that was stressful to deal with on Friday, along with the delays that we were having. Again, I don't know how I managed to not show that on stream because I was definitely like going to lose my mind that day. Um,
On
but
stream
we
was
managed
fine,
to
but
do it.
every time the break kicked in and I saw you just scrambling around, face was like, what the fuck? Please help me.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
if when the camera turned off, I was like somewhere. I was going somewhere, or I was like going to the back room to like try to calm myself down. And like I had Mel from Experium, the head chick. She literally came up to me and she was like, "Every time I look at you, you looks like something's terribly wrong." And I'm just like, I mean, I'm stressed, but I mean, this is kind of my face in general. So like, yeah,
Oh my god.
it was all Friday was legit the worst. Actually, Friday was worse than Saturday, believe it or not.
For
Um,
me as well, definitely
yeah,
Friday was the worst by far. I mean, worst by far, but comparably, Friday was the worst because Friday was, at least from our perspective, I think Lime can also agree with that. It was the most stressful because we had to get used to everything.
yeah.
It was obviously for us all the first time talking to like a live audience.
We
Also, the first
stalled for
time doing
4.5 hours, by the way.
exactly, and we were not prepared for any of that. Like, I remember before we did our very first live pod, you were like, "Yeah, Shorty, can you like write down a couple of questions in case we have to stall a little bit?" I wrote down like 4 or 5 questions, and then we had to stall for like how many hours again on that
Yeah,
day? Like,
it was 4.5,
Five
5 around
hours.
there. It was
yeah,
I watched the entire Friday VOD and we're just like chatting and chatting. Surprisingly, like honestly, shout out to those who were watching the stream because surprisingly, like the chat, our Twitch chat the entire time was relatively wholesome, minus like one or two people. There was
Oh,
like one
really?
guy. Yeah,
I wanted to check out that,
there was only one
but
guy who was like, "This is a disaster. I can't stand listening to these people on stage." But like that was literally just like one guy.
are you gonna name drop or not?
I don't even remember his name, and I think I banned him from the channel when I
Oh,
saw it
okay.
on the post. Lime died again,
Because
so she'll be back
no.
eventually.
I'm redoing thingies because for some reason it says that Google Chrome is sucking all my CPU. And
With Rava asked a question: How the actual f did you even manage that? I was prepared to stall with pre-produced content. I don't know, but like I really do think that the podcast prepared us for this exact moment. Cuz
yes.
what actually happens is what actually happens is like we have the podcast, we talk for an hour and a half. After the podcast ends, we talk for almost another hour. Also, thank you guys for the gift subs, Sticks and
sometimes.
Snippin. Thank you guys. Yeah, like sometimes we'll talk even longer after the podcast and we'll go off on different subjects. And since Friday, there were so many like variables that we could talk about and just like pull out things. It was kind of I feel like the role that the host, what I wanted to do for the host, which was bring up a topic, ask a question, ask Lime, ask Shorty, and Lime and Shorty had their own detailed answers for each. And then we would kind of just bounce off each other for a little bit until the topic was dead. Then it'd be like, okay, topic's dead. Let's try to bring up a new question. Maybe something that either one of them said, or maybe something that we're experiencing right now or hope to experience in the future. So that's how I just kind of tried to keep myself focused with my us, is, is, us, and us, and
Dude, now that you said focus, if you were in the audience and you saw me talking to you in the audience, you will know what I'm about to say.
oh no.
But Jesus Christ, it was so hard to listen to whatever Import or Shorty was saying because we had echo going on in the studio, plus the from the
From the
audience.
talking, yeah.
And
The
from the
audience,
talking. And the thing is that I have a tick that whenever I hear like noise, I immediately look like I do this. many times on if you were watching or stuff, you will see that I'm
Yeah.
looking to the audience because it was so fucking loud and I couldn't hear anything. And
Yeah.
there was even a moment on the things that Import said, he looked at me and he's like, yeah, Lime. And then I look at him and I literally didn't hear anything that he said. Like I was completely clueless. And I said to Import, can you repeat the question? And Import says, no, it wasn't a question.
Oh no, that actually I didn't even have a question for you. I'm serious. I did not
Oh
even
yeah,
have a question for you.
I remember that as well.
What
That was
happened? You
funny.
want to know what happened? Shorty was saying something
Yeah.
and my small ADHD brain just like trailed off. And
Uh-huh.
so Shorty had this like nice detailed answer and I had no idea what he said because I wasn't listening. And so I was like, "Lime?"
Thank you.
And you're like, "Huh?" And I was like, just kidding."
I feel so sorry because whatever Shorty said many times, I literally didn't hear a single
Like,
thing.
no, it was you did not miss the question. There was no
Oh,
question, Alexander.
Yeah,
Like,
or when you asked me like what I think about the
uh,
performance so far from Asics and Barbers, who's the better brother, and the only thing I heard was like, yeah, better brother, and then I just went on and said the completely wrong thing. Yeah, I mean,
it,
I it wasn't ideal, but
I wasn't
it
going to
is
tell
what
the
it is.
audience to shut up. So, like, people are like, why didn't you tell the audience to shut up? Personally, from my perspective, since all the delays were happening and like it was really frustrating for at least the staff, and it was definitely getting on some of the nerves of some participants. Surprisingly, we only had one person rage quit the entire tournament.
Wait, somebody rage quit?
Yeah, somebody rage quit the tournament.
Oh,
oh,
Um,
interesting.
really?
yeah, but yeah, it was some. I think it was some like I'm not even gonna say their name because they don't really
It's
deserve to
yeah,
be like named. Um, like
it's fine.
it's fine. But yeah, no, only one person rage quit. But no, like people were chatting and trying to enjoy themselves, and I wasn't gonna interrupt that because everything else was going so wrong. I was like, and I was being told during breaks, it was like, hey, it's okay, import. Like, people are just enjoying themselves. They're getting to socialize. So like, as long as we get to do that, it'll be fine. Like, yeah, it sucks, and like we all aren't necessarily having fun with the tournament side of it. But as far as the social aspect, it's going fine. And so for me, when I hear that and when I see them talking, yeah, was it loud? Yes. Was it annoying? Also, yes. But I'm not going to stop people from enjoying themselves when everything else, like if I tell people to shut up, like do we really want people to listen to us for 4 hours straight? I wouldn't want to listen to myself for even like an hour long. So
No,
yeah.
that's why when I stood up and then I was like, you know what, I really I cannot because I just couldn't hear anything. So I went to the audience and I was like, guys, yeah, you can talk all whatever you want, but can you please keep it low when we are talking at least on the thing? Whenever we're not talking is whatever what's going on for.
I mean, the thing is, we were basically not entertaining the crowd. We were basically just
Yeah.
entertaining the people on the live stream, and the people in the crowd weren't there to listen to us at all. They were just there to wait for the tournament to start. So we weren't talking about the matches anymore after like
Yeah.
10 minutes or
We
something
just
like
started
that.
talking about random
Yeah.
stuff.
Like you just make the situation worse if you'd actually like go to them, tell them to shut up, because the reason they are that loud is just also the way the venue was built up. It just naturally the sound just naturally goes towards us
Yeah.
the way it
I
was
mean, the
built.
thing
So
is
that's
that
it's just the way it was.
when I thought about having like live audience and stuff, I thought, yeah, they would also come to watch the show that we're putting on the studio,
I mean,
right?
they
To
did to an
some degree,
extent.
yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, this is gonna be quite similar to what like the LEC or whatever is on
To be
NA
fair though, in
they
those
have.
stage productions
So
and everything, like if we're gonna compare ourselves to that, they have the analyst desk and the casters talking super super loud, but also the crowd is still talking and enjoying themselves. So like the audio dynamics there is like still kind of what we were having. The issue is like the way the kind of like the issue with our event was that like when we would raise the voice of the of the couch, the audience would also raise their voice. So
It's like a classroom, you know, like
yeah,
Yes,
it
yes,
just
it
naturally
felt
builds
really
up.
like a classroom.
And
That's
even if
why
you
I
tell
got the
them to just
tick.
shut up, it's just a matter of 2 or 5 minutes. You know, people start talking with each other, then it's getting difficult to understand them. You start talking louder, so the other ones have to start talking louder as well. It's just I think it was fine.
yeah,
It
and
was making it more difficult on us, obviously, but I think we just had to deal with
You know
that and
what we
take
need
it.
for next
Nina Door.
time? The
I
the things. The what you had import like the
Oh, that would
how's
be
it called,
nice.
this
Yeah.
thing, this how's it
Oh
called,
yeah, the
this shit.
earpieces. Honestly, that helped me
Yeah.
hear you guys the entire time. I wish we did have that for
Wait,
both
you
of you
heard
guys.
us through that
I
thing
heard
as
you.
Oh,
well?
I
you
heard you
hear
the entire
Oh
us?
my
time.
god, I
That's
didn't
Ah, yeah,
why.
even
that's
know
why it
that.
was so easy
Which
for
makes
you
it
to
even
follow
more
Shame.
up.
funny. It makes it even more funny the fact that I ignored your entire answer and then still went to Lime and went like Lime.
Oh god.
Because
I thought you also had to
I heard you
struggle with that.
clearly.
Yeah, I thought you had this struggle. It was like,
Sorry,
Jesus
my
Christ.
bad.
Yeah, sometimes I was looking at input and I was like, I wonder how his brain is like, processing all of this, because I do know
No, I
that
heard
you
you the
have
entire
an
time.
ADHD brain, and it was the sound, the Shorty talking like really specific things, and I was like, there's no fucking way he's catching up everything.
No, I heard you guys. I mean, the
I mean,
crowd was
it's
still
good.
distracting. Like the crowd was still super loud. So like sometimes like I would get distracted by how loud the crowd was, but no, I could hear you guys the entire time. What was hard was SBville would talk into my earpiece, so that's why I had the earpiece from the get-go. And so SBville would talk into the earpiece, and when you guys would talk, your sound level was higher than what SBville was. So I'd have to like really press it in my ear to like listen. And yeah, it was
Okay, that's also not ideal, but it
yeah.
worked.
The crowd though,
Yeah.
I enjoyed the crowd. I wasn't. Everybody's like, you should tell the crowd to be quiet. I was more scared of the crowd more than anything else. I was like, we're not. I'm not going to do that. You guys could do that. I'm not going to do
Yeah, same, same. I was like,
that. I was like, you guys
if you
could do
wanna
that. I'm
tell,
not going to do that.
if you wanna tell them, I'll just sit here.
I mean,
Yeah,
the thing is that to be honest, like 100% honest, I do like to have a crowd, and I'm used to crowds
yeah,
because back when I was in school and everything, I was a person that was literally in every school act possible, and I had to interact with the crowd like 1,000 times. So for me, having crowds is not like dingies. But to me, what is I get really nervous is when I have to do like stuff like this, like a podcast, and actually like having to do something on the internet. But in real life, I don't give a fuck. But like now, yeah, it's kind of spooky. So
so some people kind of going off like the crowd thing and like how it feels to be in front of a crowd. Um, to be honest, half the time I didn't even notice there was a crowd in front of me, which sounds really weird considering how loud they were. But
yeah,
like
but it was
Makes
like white
sense.
noise,
yeah,
kind
it
of.
You
was
get
it was
used to it at
background
some
noise.
point.
Yeah. And like some people were like, how are you able to handle sitting up there with like people staring at you? And I'm just like, well, I'm looking at Shorty and Lime most of the time, and I would look at, and I really wouldn't look out to the crowd too much, and because my very American ways, and the U.S. you don't typically lock eyes with people unless you like know them. And so, like, if you lock eyes with somebody, it either means one or two things. You're either got an issue with them, or they're staring at you because something's wrong, like something with your outfit or like the way you look is weird. So, like, I wouldn't stare at people. But
I think, you know what? I do that. I do stare at people when I talk to them.
yeah,
I look directly in the eyes,
yeah,
you
which
know.
is fine. Like when because I know you and everything, and you're talking to me, like I'm gonna stare at you. Like that's
Yeah.
fine. Eye contact is fine.
I mean,
But with
actually,
so
if
many
I had,
unknown faces,
yeah. I
I
mean, if
wouldn't.
I had to talk to the crowd because we actually didn't have the opportunity since we were talking in between the three of us.
Mm.
Um, I do focus on certain people to talk, like basically to them, you know. And I look them directly in the eye, and I know that that's fucking annoying because that's what teachers do at school. But well, next time if I have to talk to the crowd, I'm gonna be like,
Yep.
I'm gonna look at someone. You better not be in the crowd. You're gonna
I mean,
get intimidated.
Yeah, literally
Since
try to just talk to you and not think of a crowd
Mm.
being there at all.
Honestly, with Lime and Shorty there on the couch, I felt so safe. I was like, no matter what, like we all got each other's back. Like I know you guys because you said it that you were looking towards me to like keep it together. So like I was like, I can keep it together, and if they're gonna keep it together because I'm keeping it together, then we're gonna be fine. Like no matter what happens, no matter the issues or whatnot, the only thing I would ever get nervous, the only time I would ever get super nervous is when we had exhausted literally every topic possible. This was when we were getting to like hour 4 and 5, especially on Saturday
Mm.
too, when we did it again for like 6 hours
Yeah.
delaying. When it got to that 6 hour and we just like ran every topic dry, that's when I started getting frustrated because I was like, I can't have dead air on this couch. Like that's going to be super awkward. Like,
Yep.
please let's throw it to the casters or something because we literally cannot talk anymore. We literally have had like 16 episodes of like Dropped Gears podcast in 1 weekend. So
I mean,
there's
it
no
did work
way.
quite well, right? I mean, obviously, you kind of like to talk a little bit lengthy as well at sometimes, but that's
Whoa.
the. I mean, but the good thing about it is it gives me and Lime time to also
Yeah.
think about certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So we could
like
just randomly talk like some random shit I had in Gamers Assembly 3 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
at some point we literally kind of ran out of things to say, and I was like thinking to myself, this would have been a nice moment to have Shorty talking about keywords or whatever thing.
I mean, you could have thrown
Fair.
that at me at any time.
Yep.
But because
So
I was like, we have nothing else to talk about. Like, we don't have content. We're
yeah. Yeah, we
yeah,
were in the mud, just like Chris's internet. But yeah, we were in the
yeah.
mud pretty heavily.
You know what was the by far the worst moment the whole weekend? The moment we decided, hey, we didn't even like introduce ourselves,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
true.
you're like, hey,
Hey,
introduce yourself, Shorty,
hey,
and then
by the way.
you start, and at the same time you're like, well, I mean, I'm introducing myself to the crowd, so you like look up to the crowd, like look directly at all the faces looking at you, and at the same time on our monitor where we can see what's happening, you see the camera zooming onto your face in full motion. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was
It was
so
so
cute.
stressful.
It was so cute
So
watching
pathetic.
Shorty because it was the first time like the camera actually ever zoomed up on Shorty, and it was so adorable. Like the camera just focused on Shorty, and it comes in, and he's like, hi.
I mean, it went decent, but holy shit, that was
No.
nerve-wracking.
I was like, this is the most adorable moment ever. Like, I, thought,
I saw
I was like,
Shorty's face
babies
and I
for
was
stream,
just so
let's go.
mad.
Like, it was great. Because you know why
Uh,
I tease you about it and I laugh about it because that was legit me. So like,
Yeah, I mean, you had it way worse than us with that. I'm
yeah,
aware of that.
I'm
because
really
that was
happy
me
that
on
the camera didn't
Trackmania when I
zoom in
first saw
myself.
myself. When I first saw myself on Trackmania, I was like, I mean, the entire weekend I also was like, but like a little bit less, I guess. Yeah, it
I mean,
was fun.
Saturday and Sunday were fine. Like
Yeah.
Saturday, especially. I don't know why, but
Okay, Saturday wasn't fine. The end of Saturday, the after part once we got to the after party, it was fine. But
I mean, I
like,
don't know why, but I could really just take a step back and just separate myself from all those delays on Saturday
I
because
think
I mean,
yeah.
for me myself, I didn't have to quote unquote. I didn't really have to care about them. I was like, all right, then I'll just do we just do our stuff like in a couple of hours later, and I'm not a competitor, so I didn't really think about the frustration that would entail. But obviously, if I would have been a player, I would have been really frustrated, and I could also see from some players. I was like at some point, I was in like in the room before the casting thing and before
Mm,
the stage. And Barbas was just almost falling asleep. Was like, I don't even want to play anymore right now. So I got it, but for me, I was just it was actually fine for some reason. I don't know
yeah.
why.
Well, I'm glad it was fine for you. I mean, it was. Like, and I mean that in a nice way. I don't mean that in a mean way.
Now the thing is, like, it
Like
obviously I know that was super stressful for you and
it,
obviously for the tech guys down there, but there wasn't anything I could do. So I knew that no matter what I'm doing, this is just free time for me. So might as well just use the free time and just talk to people and have fun. And for some reason, that just worked.
knowing what I now know, how close we were to complete disaster on Saturday. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
did not know that fact as well. I was like, I was also of the
we
opinion
were
of, yeah, why,
so close to complete disaster.
so many people just said, why don't you go to Plan B earlier? But there was a specific reason for that, right?
I mean, I I know that Chris and Snicks are gonna write like a post op of like how they what happened and like their thought process on everything. So like I'll leave that portion to them. But yeah, it was really rough. Rava asked Rava, you got some really good questions, bro. Holy moly. Although you were with me in production, so that makes sense. How would you feel about online pre-qualifier? It's something that we should have done, honestly. I feel like having a top 128 still is viable, but trying to fit like the amount of players we did um just didn't work out. I think top 128 is fine if it because with the four player match format, um matches are like if there's issues with like a player or a PC or something, they're easily isolatable. But when they're all in the same lobby, that's when it becomes a massive issue. So I think, yeah, qualifiers online probably would be better to then do like a top 128 or just stick with the top 64 and just do a bunch of more side events. But
The
yeah,
thing is that if you do the online qualifier, even though I agree, but at the same time, you like kind of kill the vibe, the nervousness and the excitement of
yeah,
going there and playing at the PC and check out your competitors on the side, because the energy and the ambient that you feel when you're about to play is something that you cannot have it online.
yeah.
It's the more chill. It's like whatever shit.
Our
And
we
many of the people went there to play because they knew that they had an opportunity.
yeah.
Online is like whatever. I know it feels more like playing cup of the day and cup of the day is whatever.
Exactly, going off on that, like our we had briefly, very very briefly discussed like should we do an online qualifier, and we said no because one, we don't know how many people are going to attend, and if you have
Mm.
an online qualifier, that's going to likely discourage people from attending if they don't make it. So
Yes.
and the biggest thing was to get many people there to also not have only people there, but also XPEvo's message hadn't been fully like telegraphed yet to everyone. I think it is now. Like the event clearly, despite it being a big tournament, was also a very big community event and it was a very big social event on top of the tournament. And I wanted to
Yes.
make sure that social aspect of it was solidified. Trackmania had a fantastic social aspect, and that's why it was very successful for its smaller size, and that's what I wanted to transform to XPEvo. So I wanted the tournament to be a focus, but I didn't want it to be the main focus. But for people to get there, they want to have to play the tournament, like realistically. And if you want to get the people, the bigger personalities, the bigger not the content creators, because obviously we had content creators and they didn't want to play, they just hung out and drank beer, which is perfectly fine. Like I think Virtual basically had a vacation. I think the entire weekend, which is like cool for him because most of the events he's always doing something. So he probably very much enjoyed just having a chill weekend. But
Getting
like,
drunk, playing chess
yeah,
and beer pong sounds
Yeah,
like
he
a
was
nice time to
it
enjoying
me.
sounds like.
himself.
I mean, he clearly enjoyed himself. So it's like for
Which,
people like that is
uh,
fine.
yeah, I think that is really fun. And this is something that I was talking to a bunch of other people on the event, that in Trackmania event is actually the only time that the players, the pros, and the content creators get to actually enjoy the event, because they don't get to stop every 5 seconds. They can do whatever they want. They feel free to move around and blah blah. Because I was like, yeah, when Virtual has to go to, I don't know, Twitch rivals, you have to be careful. You have to go here, 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 and there. But here in the Trackmania events, it's like, yeah, you can go and sit and relax and have a good time.
Yeah, especially he
Yeah,
was
they're
like
talking about
in the
you.
venue. He wasn't like in his separate space or in the VIP area. He was literally just at the bar area somewhere and just randomly sit down there and play chess against people.
In
I remember,
hindsight, oh, sorry, go ahead. No, no,
yeah, I was
continue.
because I was literally talking on Sunday to one of the Experion people because I actually know that guy and he knows me. I mean, more or less. At least I knew the name, and he's like from a person that used to be in the Trackmania community as a streamer back then and caster for things like basically what is now the TMFL, like the previous event that was for that we had before, and he was really happy, or like he told me that he's surprised, or like he's pretty impressed about the fact that someone with the size of virtual and other content creators can just walk around in this space with so many people and not get bothered by them.
When it's a
Yes.
Trackmania, that's the cool thing about the Trackmania community, right? It's like we're all like, despite it feeling very disconnected in some ways, when you go to an event like that, you realize how connected it really is and how like everybody's there to because they all have a common interest and like it's not just Trackmania, but it's also just like having fun. Because Trackmania, like it is a competitive game, but the community is like unlike any. I know everybody says this, but Trackmania truly to me is like unlike any other community with the way everybody interacts with each other, and like for the fact that everybody typically only interacts with each other through text and rarely through voice. Like, yeah, some have their Discord communities, but rarely do they interact with voice. And like when they're in person, everything they're all super respectful and like nice to each other. It's just like it's baffling because like I've been a part of multiple communities, like smaller communities, bigger communities, and like the closest thing I could ever think would come anywhere close to this would be the Smash Bros community, like when it comes to like the regional and national level, like in the US. But even then, that's like Smash Bros is still very toxic. Like everybody's friendly with each other, but like when it comes to the competitive aspect of it, people get like really like at each other's throats. So
Mm.
like that yeah, just Trackmania is just overall respectful, even with like the players against players. Like you don't see really trash talking with anybody unless you're like really good friends. Then there's trash talking, but yeah, it's
The thing
just
is that this
super supportive.
happens because, I mean, at least to me, and when I start getting more closer to the pro players and the league scene, it's really hard to trash talk someone that you know for a fact how many hours they have put into the game, their story behind, and everything they have been through to get into the point where they are a pro player. And here, at least in Trackmania, that is more accessible in the events that you have, because you can go just walk around and see, I don't know, Otak walking, and then you
Yeah.
go to him and you talk to him, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's a cool guy, and then you go to another pro player and you see, oh yeah, Granada is also a cool guy, and then you see them both in the finals, and then you cannot trash talk any of them.
Mm.
It's just hard, to have such bad feelings towards someone, because you already know them and you have talked to them and you know their stories, so you relate to them in a deeper level than
Mm.
just having them so far away.
I
You know.
think with it's a perfect opportunity to now bring it up, but like Fegier and Ice Crusher, we talk massive crap to each other like all the time. Like me and Ice, me and Fegier, we talk like massive crap to each other. But like we know what's up. We know what's going on. Especially me and Ice. Like I was teasing Ice about things even at the event, and he was teasing me about things. But like we're like bros. We're like Figure. Although Figure was like super confused because he dropped his phone, and I picked it up and gave it to him, and he's like, you gave me back my phone? I was like, why? Yes, because you dropped it, you dummy. Like,
I
what
mean,
do you think I was gonna do?
maybe he
Chuck it
expect
across the room?
to just step on it. I don't know. Assert
Like,
dominance.
I don't know. Like, I was like, what do you think I was gonna do, Figure? And like, yeah, but Figure's a troll, but he's secretly a nice guy. Just don't tell anybody that. Even though I just told 127 people, but you know, it's okay. Um,
I mean, what do you think? How much of the fact that in Trackmania is only about you and yourself that maybe plays a role in that? Because I mean, matchmaking obviously gets a little bit more sweaty nowadays
yeah,
and more annoying with some players taking it too seriously. But just in core concept, Trackmania, you don't have any interactions with your teammates, and if you make a mistake, you can't blame it on, no man, why is that guy playing so weirdly or something like that. How much do you think that weighs in? Like, at
yeah.
all or not at all?
Well, I think it does to an extent. Like, if let's take the matchmaking thing. There's a player in matchmaking, who is notoriously very salty and tells people to uninstall the game.
But those are
Um,
usually also like the lower skilled players,
oh
right?
no,
Like,
it's a very high skill player. In fact, they're
oh,
in the finals for Ascension. Um,
oh, I know who you mean.
yes, like if that player attended the events, I would raise an eyebrow. In fact, there was probably one player um that attended the event that I kind of raised an eyebrow, but like I treated them like any other person. I wasn't gonna make a scene about it. I wasn't gonna say anything because like they're here. Also, they paid a ticket, so thanks.
And they are there. I mean, as long as they behave at the event, whatever they do
Yeah,
outside of the event is doesn't matter.
yeah. Like whatever they do in the game, whatever they do, anything like that, like it's not my problem,
Ah,
honestly.
I know who
Like
you mean now. It's Marius.
surely, surely.
I'm completely lost. I have no idea who you're talking about, but whatever, continue.
Bagels. Thank you. Bagels said, "Yeah, I appreciate you talking to me like a person." Important. Bagels, bro. Honestly, okay. I don't know how many. I don't think that many people saw the ice interview, but when I interviewed the 3 Ice Cup winners, like Bagel said the most funniest thing ever, and it was so underrated. And he said, "Thank you for giving us ice players an opportunity as like the what do you say exactly?" It was so funny, bro. He said, "Thank you for." Thank you for giving the ice players the most marginalized community an opportunity to like yes, thank you, disenfranchised community. There we go.
Disenfranchised.
It was so funny, and like I feel like not many people like got the joke. I was like, man, that was so ingenious. And then it was perfect too because like then I see on the laptop pop up, yeah, we're gonna have a video, we're gonna have an interview with Turbo and Virtual, and I was like, oh no. So it was like, how do I serve this up that makes it lighthearted and funny? So yeah,
The
it was
timing.
the ice interview was really fun. Honestly, okay, so let's get back to the timeline of things. Saturday happens, it starts, it keeps
Like,
going
maybe
for 6 hours. Um,
no.
yeah,
All
we
good.
had we had a qualifier wave 3, and we had top 128 match 1 and top 128 match 2, barely
Oh.
in that span of 6 hours at the beginning. And I kept on saying to myself, if we get past top 128, we're fine. Um, I didn't realize we were only going to be fine if 2 heroes like stepped in and saved the day for us. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so Kem and Ansgar, like holy moly, literally saved us for 30 minutes from disaster. Um, yeah, it was. It's crazy to think what would have happened had they not stepped in. Because what my team told me afterwards, what would have happened if they not stepped in would have been I would have been in crisis management mode, or import would have just ran away. disappeared and never like I would just disappear
Yep,
probably.
just go in the car, just drive home,
I would have
whatever.
just like hopped in the car, drove home, like told the Airbnb owner like, hey, like yeah, the guys are gonna check out. I'm out of here. Bye bye. Like, oh yeah, it like when I'm serious, like they saved us so hard. Like yeah. Now, would I have probably ran away? Probably not, because I'm stubborn and I would have tried to find a solution. I would have first yelled at everybody, but I would have tried to find a solution as to like how we could save it. And what I probably would have done would have been to just focus on like community, like side events, community stuff, just like very small things that could be easily built up in Trackmania and like in the game itself, and just like done it would have been chaotic, and I would have just ran full into the chaos and tried to do something with it. I would have cracked jokes, like very dark and like self-deprecating jokes the entire time. But
Oh, that would have been so annoying being there.
yeah, it
Probably.
would have been awful. It
Super
would have been
awkward.
awful. So let's just be thankful that that didn't happen. Yeah, but we made it through, and thanks to Kim and Ansgar, honestly, like holy moly, they saved it. But for me, what reset me mentally was honestly, unironically, casting the Ice Cup.
Oh,
Um,
that's nice.
the XLRB and Bichon came up to the production booth, and they were like, "Hey, they need a little bit more time, but we found a solution. They just need more time." And I was like, "Okay." At this point, I'm so used to hearing like, "We need more time. We found a solution. We need more time. We found a solution." So at this point, I'm like, "Sure, whatever, bro." Like, but yeah, they're like, we're gonna go ahead and push up the ice cup," and I was like, why not full speed of the week, but ice cup? Okay, sure, whatever. It's like it's super easy. We're just gonna roll up in the Deo room and it's gonna be ready in like 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay. So
Dude,
they're
whoever
like,
came with the idea of the ice cap being played at that moment, I was like, hell yeah.
I think it was XLRB. I could be
I mean, that
wrong,
was
but
a good idea.
I'm
That was
pretty sure it
definitely
was,
really good idea.
or I think it was a combination of Bichon and XLRB. But yeah, no, they brought in that Doogie was there, and they were like, "Yeah, Doogie, were you wanting to cast? Like, we should just go ahead and have you cast." And he's like, okay." He was so nervous, bro. And like I wasn't going to I did not plan to be up there with him. Um and I was just sitting there and I was like, I don't want Doogie to be alone, bro. That's going to be so awkward for him in that big booth. And it's like really intimidating to have
Oh,
people just
yeah.
like walk by the booth. It would be so distracting, and I'd feel bad for him. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and cast with him. And honestly, it was the best decision I made for that entire event. I feel like personally, just because it allowed me to stop worrying about what was happening on the outside, just focus on like enjoying the ice cup and the people who were enjoying the side events, and also providing like a comfort to Doogie as like somebody to be there with him. Um, which I feel like Doogie, from what he told me, he was very thankful for me to join him. Um, so yeah, it was just like that was the mental reset for me. And then things started going like way better after that. So
I mean, there wasn't anything for you to do at some point either, right? I mean, you just have to wait to see what the technical guys are
yeah,
doing, and instead of worrying about it, just might as well use that time to have a bit of fun yourself.
yeah. So yeah. And then, bro, after that, things just started going so well. Like we the TOs, props to the TOs for making such a short decision. Some people complained about the point repetition. I could care less. Like we were salvaging a situation that literally was like uh, so close to being like uh yeah, whatever. Anyways, the the solution was fine. It worked. It did its purpose. And we went from being behind, guys, we were behind by like 10 hours. I don't know how. It is a miracle. Like whether you believe in divine intervention or not, I believe in divine
Six
intervention.
hours,
And
not 10.
when you
I
combine
come on,
Friday
Chris.
and Saturday together, it was.
No, I think
Okay,
It
still
was-
6 hours.
when you
Wait.
combine all those, we had delayed by 10 hours. By the time we got to the Ice Cup top 64 portion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the Ice Cup is not really delayed because the Ice Cup was planned anyway.
No,
just
I'm
at
not
a
saying the
different
Ice Cup
time.
was delayed. I'm saying like till we got to the Ice Cup portion is like literally the Ice Cup happened, and because the ice gods were in our favor and they blessed the event. That's what happened. Anyways,
Yep.
like yeah, that was literally from then on it was perfect. And up to that point when things started going smoothly, I had realized I was like, I have not really socialized with anybody. I have been panicking nonstop for the entire last day and a half. And tonight, regardless of whether I feel tired or not, I am going to socialize tonight all the way to the evening. And somehow, sober, I managed to stay up all the way till 4 a.m. socializing with people.
Oh, really? You stay until 4
I stayed
a.m.?
up till 4 a.m. socializing.
No, I was like, I mean, on the day times that we had, I tried to go around and socialize with people and etc. And then when it was after party time, I was like, you know what? I would fucking love to stay here. But tomorrow I had to wake up at like 8:30 or
Yep.
something. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm gonna make it if I stay here until 2 a.m. or something. So I just went to the hotel and I was like, yeah, no, I cannot
I was
do it.
feeling so good because by the time we got to the end of Saturday, I was like, we made it to top. First off, I was still mind blown at that point that we made it to top 20 before the end of the day. And I was like, we're only a round behind our schedule. Like,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
went.
it was saved at that point already.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
saved at
I mean,
that point.
it couldn't get. I mean, you thought that maybe before already, but it couldn't get wrong anymore.
Yeah. Well, once we had the players on stage, and like you see my personality change almost like my energy level change almost immediately. I seemed fairly charismatic, but then you see me like turn into a little kid. I start like slapping my legs and like jumping in my chair because I see the players like setting up on the PC, and I was like, we did it. We survived. Holy moly, we're going to do this. It's going to be a great event for the rest of the day because the people are going to come in. The audience is going to come in. They're going to be hyped because they were just hyped for even the small few matches that were played. So they're going to be even more hyped with the actual matches that are going to be played. Yeah, I'll stop talking now.
Yes.
Like,
And
it was
also-
mental change.
There is an interesting question in chat from Eska Serve. They said, I can only briefly stop by. It was a pleasure meeting you all. What 3 words would you guys use to describe the weekend? Mine would be wholesome, tired, and Joey.
Okay. Mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Is that your 3 words?
No. My 3 words, stressful,
Okay.
joyful,
Okay.
and what else?
And
And
3 words.
and
Okay. Stressful and joyful. That's your 3 words. Shorty.
joyful. Yes.
I also go for stress and for fun, and I don't know about the third one. Community.
Wow.
Wholesome. Actually, yeah, I think the word that best described the weekend was wholesome.
Pia from Tomek.
The 3 words that I have is aged 30 years. That is my 3 words of or to describe the entire events. So I felt like an old man after the events. I felt like I had gone through a portal and just like lived several lifetimes in the events, and yeah, it was
Understandable though.
because
Yeah.
it was my lowest point when I came home and my mom asked me about it. I was like, it was the worst event and the best event in my entire life.
And they cannot understand that. They won't get it.
Did you show
She
her
understood.
pictures?
I explained the entire
Oh.
thing to her. She understood, but I was
Oh.
like, yeah, it was the worst and the best event in my entire life.
I mean, on Saturday, I also I wanted to stay longer, but then it was like 2 a.m. and I really had to eat something, and I wanted to be like at least have a decent amount of sleep, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't be horrible the next day. I wanted to go already, and then at the entrance, some guy was like, "I want to go kebab. Anyone want to go kebab?" I was like, "I have no idea who you are, obviously, but sure, why not?" And then he said, "Yeah, I wanna quickly go ask like virtual," and the guy said they also want kebab. I was like, you want to do what? Because it didn't sound like he knows them or anything like that. He just randomly went like, "Yeah, let's ask virtual." I was like, sure, go ahead." And like 20 minutes later, I was talking to other people, realized I have no idea where that guy went. I guess now I go alone. Then I went to go kebab. I was eating that kebab and I went back to the venue because I mean I had to eat the kebab and finish it. And my plan was I'll just go to the entrance. And I mean somebody has to leave, right? And literally I was standing there for like 2 minutes, and I think it was Schlumpy that was leaving the venue, and then I talked with Schlumpy, and like 2 minutes more, and all of a sudden Barbos is also there, so we talked, had a little bit of fun. I shared a kebab with Barbos, and then I went to bed. So that was basically my Saturday night. Couldn't have been any better, I think.
Saturday night, I talked with a bunch of people that I completely have no idea who they were. They came to me to asking me because I was chilling, sitting on a PC waiting for Gego because I don't know where he went, and I was just there sitting chilling on my phone, and then two guys came to me, and they were like, "I'm sorry to ask you, but who are you actually?" And
Wait,
I
you
was
asked that
like,
to them or they asked that to you?
"No, they asked me
Oh, you
who
got
I
Omega Walled.
was."
That's kind of funny.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to introduce myself and how I got it into this, you know. And then one of the guys, was really, really, really. I mean, no, he wasn't really drunk, but he was like drunk, and the other
Oh,
guy
you're
was like
talking about
completely
Kappa.
fine.
What?
I don't know. I cannot remember the names. Yeah, and the guy was like, "Yeah, you know why I'm asking you this? Because if I wasn't drunk, I couldn't talk to you." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And then we talked for like an hour and a half,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
then I think either Snoopy or your brother came to me too, and then we started talking, and then I went home because I was like, "Yeah, I cannot do this any longer." My voice was gone. My social battery was dead.
Hmm.
Physically, I was like falling asleep, and then I was like, yeah, no, I cannot do this anymore.
It was Saturday night. The after party was probably one of the weirdest experiences for me
What do
because,
you mean?
What do you mean weird?
weird in a good way.
Okay.
Like, I have never been. It's, it's gonna sound egotistical. Whatever. I'm over the point of sounding egotistical at this point. I own it at this point. Um, I've never been like a popular person. I've been a
Oh,
person with
same.
many friends, and I've been a person who knows quite a few people, but never in a situation where I have literally been pursued and had a massive circle surrounding me asking me 16,000 questions. Um, like, or how I'm feeling, how my voice is doing, like I'm doing a fantastic job, too much love and support. Um, that was probably the most overwhelming thing for me, and the thing that I can't fathom because I'm so used to you guys trolling me half the time on the internet, anyways. So yeah, it was probably one of the weirdest situations, but like honestly, to everyone who like came up to me and talked to me and asked me questions and like complimented me, like you I'm not an emotional person, but I felt emotional that evening. Um I didn't cry, but like I felt emotional that evening, and I just felt like how like so much love from you guys, and like I can't describe how thankful I am for that because there were so many issues happening. like you guys really like lifted me up. So, and like is my new Like is my word all the time. I say like 16,000
Yeah,
times
you
in one
sound like a
sentence.
typical LA girl.
That's the word of the
Yeah,
day, apparently.
yeah.
I don't know, but like, when I go to events, I mean now more in the Trackmania community, I really didn't have the feeling that someone would come to me and say, "Oh yeah, it's you, Lime." You know, like
Mm.
I never assumed that someone would know me. So every time that I was talking to someone, I would be like, "Yeah, oh hello, yeah, it's me, Lime," and I introduced myself. But there were many people that, for some reason, did know who I was. So yeah, that feel like, damn, people actually know my name. You know, it feels like, I don't know.
I don't know, but it just makes these kind of events a little bit easier, especially if you're like an introverted guy otherwise, or person in general, because other people are already like taking that first initial step away from you, which you suck at. Like you like talking with people, but you don't really like initiating the talk. And if other people like go to you and talk to you, that just basically is everything you need to have fun, right? That's just what makes it work.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I think if I go to like another event with, even if it would be Trackmania, for example, and people would not know my name, would not come up to me, I think I would have a lot more difficult times, especially if I can't drink beer, which I couldn't this weekend really. I mean, I drank like a couple still, but you know,
Also, shout out to the old guys. I say
to the
sorry,
old what?
sorry. Like, hear me out. There was a group of much older men that attended the events that were definitely like in
Boomers.
their 40s plus, like 45s and older. And like there was a whole group of them, and like they were so chill and so cool. Like honestly, it was really cool seeing not just like our age and like younger, but it was also super cool to see like the age range of like Trackmania and everyone that was there. It's super cringy. Sorry if I offended anybody, but like it was just really cool to see like some like more seasoned people in the in life were attending.
I mean, there also was someone that was called Sam that doesn't even play Trackmania, but had like this. He had this. He was the guy that had the spam logo
Right.
around his neck. If you remember, if you ever saw that, he was such a nice guy. He was super tall. He didn't even play
Yes,
Trackmania, but
it
he
was
was
a
so nice to talk
Mark's
to.
viewer. He told me.
Oh,
He also came to me talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I know you. I'm from Mark's stream. I don't really chat that much, and blah blah." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that." Like, and we talked for like an hour, I think, and we also took a picture. It's
Are we
hilarious
talking about the
because,
super tall guy?
yeah, the super
yes.
tall
Yeah,
guy.
he was so nice, bro. He talked to me
He
for
Yes.
really
like a
was.
solid 30 to 45 minutes, just like
The
buttering me
picture
up,
is
and I
hilarious,
was
by
like,
the
"Who
way.
are you?" But like, "Thank you, but who are you?" He was so chill, and then he was like, "Can I take a picture?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm
Yes.
gonna need a pedestal though, because like, homie, you were so tall."
Uh,
It's
for
just really
y'all to
cool to
make an
meet these
idea.
kinds of people.
Oh yeah. So you probably
Ah,
did the same thing as me. I can kind of see it. You can kind of
ah.
see it, but
Why
no,
doesn't?
there was a luckily there was like a raised like platform where some of the PCs were in the upstairs area, and I stood on that and stood right beside him and we took a picture together.
I sadly met
It
him
was
at
really
2
cool.
a.m., so only talked to him like 20 minutes or something like that.
Also, the handsome people, let me tell you something. I don't care. I don't care if it outs me. Seeing Ox, and also for those of you who don't know Golden Nugget, he was walking around looking fly. Like Ox and the Golden Nugget literally making me question my sexuality. Honestly, I was like, oh my gosh, these are beautiful human beings, and I feel so ugly next to them. And I was kind of mad. Like I was like, I hate the fact that you guys are so like attractive and I'm over here looking like a thumb.
I
Like,
mean, I
bro.
did read somewhere in a paper that apparently nobody is ever 100% straight. So
Ah,
You never know.
okay, right.
Maybe you should give it a try.
Blah.
I don't remember the face of Golden Nugget, to be honest. I'm
Golden
trying
Nugget had
to.
like a he had like very whitish like blonde hair that was like he had shaved sides, combed over. He was like wearing a jacket and like skinny jeans and like I remember it to the T. And yeah, he
Can someone
was
tag me on Discord on a picture where he is? Because I don't.
he was a VIP, so he was one of the
Yes,
VIPs.
I remember the name and everything, but yeah.
Also Nitro too,
yeah.
bro. Nitro was so good looking. I was not prepared for the blonde hair because when Nitro was on the podcast, he had his like normal like dark hair, and then he shows up and he's like, "Hi," and he shows. I had a Trackmania moment. Nitro shows up. He's like, "What's up, import?" He has a Carmine Corp. I'm only looking at the Carmine Corp jersey, and I was like, "Oh, what's up, OTAC?" I did it again. I did. I made a boo boo again.
It also happened to me because when Lingo came up to me, I was like, "Yeah, who am I?" And I don't know,
I did
like
it again.
everybody really, he does look different, and he also sounded different for some reason, and I just did not have any clue who he is. Even when he said, "Yeah, I was on the podcast," I was like, blanking.
Also, is that guy? Okay, I just got a picture. Yeah.
It's
And
also
I
so
think
weird because you never know how tall people are. That can throw you off so hard.
Also,
Like
thank you
Spam,
for the
for
people
example. The first
complimenting
time
my
I met
soup.
him, I was like, wait, Spam is. I kind of imagine Spam being like 190, or I don't even know why. Like I just pictured Spam being like really tall guy, and then I was standing to him, and I was a little bit taller than him, and I was like, huh,
CD
this
guy
is
was
not what I
also really
imagined.
tall.
Yeah.
you guys, I knew Spam wasn't that tall because I remember there was an event happening in the Netherlands where they show everybody. So I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I was actually
Yeah.
surprised
Gimmicks
also.
and Racer Summit.
To be honest, I mean, talking about looks is kind of weird, but yeah, I was also surprised that Spammy wasn't that tall as I imagined. Because on the stream, he's like, like a
Yeah,
super
well,
gym and stuff. I was like,
It's kind
yeah,
of like
but
Shorty. It's kind of like Shorty. I was like, Shorty, like you really don't look that tall on camera, and then homie's like towering slightly over
Yeah,
me.
because at camera you don't see it at all. Like you
Yeah.
only see like the it just looks weird. But yeah, I'm not actually short. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but
I was not disappointed.
you know what I got personally happy is that every time that I meet someone in real life, they look at me and they're like, "Oh my god, Lime, you're so tiny!" Like
You are tiny,
this.
but
Yes,
it's like
I am
fine.
tiny. Okay, but listen. Usually, I get people to tell me that to me, and this time on this event, only one person came to me and he said that.
Yeah.
Only one. So I was like, yes. Not every time I talk to someone, someone's gonna say that.
Also, major apologize to
You did PB?
when I watched the when I watched Friday and Saturday's stream VOD. I apologize to the chat because multiple people were like, "Import, do this in IRL." So this is me making up for all my missing.
I'm not gonna try
Fuck
right
you,
now, but
Kate!
I can actually not do it with my left hand. I can't.
Yeah, I can do both.
No, I mean, no, I'm not gonna show it.
Do
Like
it. No.
it's like it just
Wait,
doesn't.
can you?
Like,
With the
it
finger?
doesn't go further. Like the finger doesn't go further than this. Like this is the
Oh,
best I
you
can
can't do this?
can do. No,
Oh.
I mean, I don't remember if this is the one I broke as a kid, so maybe that's the reason.
Okay, yeah,
Because
makes
like
sense.
this one is kind of, I mean, not better, I guess. I don't know. Just
You know what?
doesn't
I got
work.
super happy because I do this unironically, not way before the emote. And then I saw everybody because I actually didn't know that it was because of the emote. And then I saw a bunch of people doing this on the on the event. And I was like,
Well, we
"Oh,
also
yeah,
had
people actually
it
do
on
it."
our trailer though, because when the driver walks past through the locker room, he points to his buddy and he does this. So like our event was literally themed around this emote unintentionally. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
it's
everybody
really
was doing
cool.
it.
It's really cool. I love it.
Yeah, this should be our new Vinka from now on, honestly.
Yeah.
I prefer
Kinda
this more.
already is.
It kind of already is, yeah, true.
I didn't really see a lot of Winkers, but I personally didn't mind it that much,
Yeah,
to be fair.
Yeah. Oh man, it was a fun event, and honestly, so like from Saturday to the after party, like I was full of happiness and joy. And honestly, once we got to the end of Saturday, I was 100% confident in what was gonna happen on Sunday, because Sunday I knew no matter what, as long as we could get to Sunday, like I first off, if we could get to top 64, then I felt like it was going to be easier. But then I knew if we got to Sunday, Sunday was just a straight up show day. Like the tournament at that point is so easy to run when it's that few people. Like I just knew it was going to be a show day and a stream day, so it was going to be
you know
really
what I
easy.
felt on Sunday? That it felt really weird that we didn't have that much time to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
If that makes sense, because we have to fill it like 5 hours or something, blah blah. And then on Sunday it was like, oh yeah, we only have 5 minutes before the match started. And I was like, yeah, I cannot keep all with all the thoughts that I have in 5 minutes. And there were many moments that it was either me or Shorty talking after you, and then I was like, yeah, I think we could have made this longer, but
our initially planned at like every in between match, our initial planned segments were supposed to only be 10 minutes long. So it was supposed to be 5 minutes post, 5 minutes pre, and then into the next match with maybe a 2 minute break in between. So like we really 5 minutes is nothing. Like
yeah, 5 minutes
so
was nothing. It was talking like 2 seconds about the past match prediction, and then we head out to the caster. So
yep. Yep. And like at that point, that's why I just kind of went to the prediction thing, because it was the easiest thing to do with that amount of time, and we could still get enough like information about how we felt about each player without going too much into it. That would prevent it from going overtime. Even then, it still went overtime, because then I'd have SBville be like, "Go to match, go to match, go to match." Like,
yeah,
you guys never heard what SBville would say to me, but at
Oh, I
some
can imagine
points,
it.
yeah,
Anytime he saw me, he was just telling me, yeah, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. I'm like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
see the clock from here, but I never said anything because it's understandable. He was
yeah.
also under a lot of stress.
He was so under stress, and like SBville and Ravel and Lurai and MCYC, but especially SBville and Ravel, like
I mean, MCYC was
holy
very
moly,
stressed. He had to click one
yeah.
button every round.
Yeah,
No, he also
MCYC
wow.
he did more than that. I'm
he
sorry,
he did
but
more than that, but to be fair, MCYC, after he had like most of the like 3D stuff done and like majority of the artwork done, at that point he was just saving all the replays and everything.
Oh, you know what? I was many times on the backstage on MCYC was, and there were like a couple of times that we didn't save the replays. So he was like, "No, did I save? No, I didn't."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they
that
were
the
should be
like,
replays
"Yeah,
were
implemented
but these
for
used.
next
ones are
year.
not
What are you
that
talking about?
important." So
The replays were used in a way.
yeah,
Well,
the
actually,
replays were used, but not all of them.
right.
He was mostly focusing on the replays that were like almost finalists to the last thingy. So
And
I mean, the
also,
replays weren't used in the live stream, but they are used for something else.
yeah, like I mentioned I think I mentioned at the beginning, or maybe, oh no, I didn't mention it because it was before the podcast. But MCYC still has a very large project that he's still working on. And once that's done, we'll announce it again. But it'll be a massive recap of the entire weekend with matches and replays of kind of just
yeah,
everything. Also, there's a little bit of meminess to it in some sections, which I think hopefully people will catch on to it and enjoy it for what it is. So, but yeah, Max did so many things for pretty much the stream assets and everything. So he did a really good job, and he's still doing a really good job because he's still working on stuff. But
Yeah, and
Lurai
when I
did a
was
really good job too for the pressure. I don't know if any of you guys got to meet Lurai, but Larai's very shy, quiet person.
Not really, sadly.
And like Larai honestly was a trooper going through all that stress because like putting a shy quiet person in a booth with a bunch of very strong hard ethic working personality people, Larai was able to like go above and beyond as well with the sound and everything, even when we would slightly be like, hey, this person needs to go up in sound and this person needs to go down. And yeah, he was able to handle it. So
Really
yeah.
well.
And Larai was constantly checking in on the batteries because I had the mic and the earbuds, and he was like, I need to check you. And so he would just come by.
I actually have a picture of him replacing your batteries.
Oh,
Like
do you
charging you
really?
again. I do, yes. I think but I don't think they were really good pictures, sadly.
Yeah.
I tried though.
Yeah, I had batteries removed and placed inside me multiple times.
Oh
No,
my
I
god,
can
that
look at them.
picture.
It took me a little bit long. You can't really see that he's actually like replacing the batteries. You can only see him messing around with your box.
With my
Unlucky.
box. Oh.
Yeah, like
Oh.
the
Wow.
things you had. Like I don't know how to call that.
It was the receiver, I guess you could say. It was like the radio.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Shout outs to all the guys in production. Like they did so honestly, production, even with like the delays, production was top notch. I mean,
Yeah.
for being a zero budget production.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the
zero
kind of
budget.
like this is the kind of production I want at an event. Like this is
Mhm.
the level I expect, especially also from Nadio. I know that for Nadio the way they run it's difficult, but this
Mhm.
is the level of production that should be the aim because you can obviously go even further than that. But this is something that it looks professional. It was professional. Everybody had like their special subject they were focusing on and responsible for, and that just makes it a lot easier on so you can just focus on your thing. You don't have to do like multiple things at the same time. For example, like casters having to also mess around with the stream or anything like that. It's just not professional, and
Yep.
that's what really was the main difference with like XPEvo, where everybody like we had like the fact that we even had like a production basically.
Yeah. I mean, with the production with and I've told SPVille this already, and I'm gonna say it
Wow.
again for everybody else to hear. But when SPVille, me and him had a multiple production meetings along with Rayvel and others. But SPVille showed me his spreadsheet of how he planned the entire stream workflow to go through. The second I saw the detail that SPVille had put into this workflow for the stream and just like the schedule and everything, immediately any concerns I had about my vision for the production and for how the show would go, I had full 100% trust in SPVille. And I knew like the entire event, I was never worried about production because I knew SPVille had it and I knew that Rebout had it. So like
Yeah, I
they
also
were
felt like that.
insane.
I mean, I didn't exactly know what they are doing, but I also felt like they know exactly what they are doing.
Yeah. So I always try to praise them for what for when I can because they did a professional's job. Like everybody
They went far beyond with
from
everything.
you guys, even Lime and Shorty. I know if you guys didn't feel like it, you guys looked super professional. Like from the analyst couch to the casters to literally every asset and aspect of the show and the production. It looked like a top quality show for what it was. Like it literally was insane, just like what we did. And
I
yeah,
mean, also like to put that in the numbers, like how many staff people did we have? 30?
we had 33. Also, also before I forget, and I'm gonna embarrass him anyways. Snippin was also part of the production, and he was running around getting the players situated on the stage and everything. So Snippin was amazing, and I was so happy that he attended the event because I've been wanting to meet Snippin for so many years. We've known each other since 2021, and he was as adorable in person as he is online. So
Actually, speaking about the stage, do you know who had the idea of the Pikachu?
I have no idea. Maybe
Yeah,
Snippin
who
knows.
made the Pikachu thingy?
Maybe
Yeah, so
Snippin
for
knows the
people that don't
Pikachu.
know, Granadi obviously plays with a wheel, and when he had to play his first match on stage, they noticed that his wheel doesn't actually fit with the way the desk was there.
It was
So
Shorty from
he.
Experion. The
Oh.
Experion. Also, there was
Yeah.
another Shorty in Experion. He was the one controlling the PTZ cameras, which were the remote cameras that would move around and stuff and focus in. That was the Experion Shorty controlling those, and he stuck through the entire production as well the entire time. So shout out
That
to
was
him.
so funny when people were asking, "Oh, where is Shorty?" And you have to like ask your Shorty or our Shorty, and
Right.
they would be like, "No, ours." I was like, oh, "Okay, I don't know that one."
I mean, a lot of people asked. I mean, many people asked me throughout the whole weekend, "Where's Lime? Where's Lime?" And like one time, I wanted to get you because I knew you're downstairs. Obviously, I go the escalator down, and while I go the
Oh
escalator down, I
right.
see you going the escalator up, and I was like, okay.
There was one moment, the only section that I wasn't upstairs. I didn't have any signal on my phone, and I was talking to Evon, I think, and we were just chilling downstairs, checking everybody. And then I look at the screen, and then I see Import and Shorty in there, and I was like, "Oops, I think I had to be there." But I was like, I didn't get any message on my phone, so I didn't know.
I mean, the screen was literally everywhere. Lime, really
No,
mad.
where I was, it was literally there was a huge one thing in
The
between. So I was
escalators
like,
is
it,
what you mean, right?
no, it was like a pillar. It was a huge ass pillar
Oh, okay.
blocking the TV. So I was like, yeah, I cannot watch that shit. And then I move into checking all the people, and then I see you and Shorty on the screen, and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to run.
I mean, funnily enough, at that point, Import didn't even know that you're like doing the social media stuff.
I didn't.
Because I was like, I mean, you're doing so many things at the same time as well, as especially like on social media. I was like, I didn't mind at all that you missed that, because I was like, yeah, she's doing her job great. She's also doing like a secondary job while doing our stuff. So like, if she
I
misses
literally
one,
did
I wasn't
whatever, it's
even
3
fine.
mad.
jobs.
Yeah, you also
So
weren't mad, but
yeah, I wasn't mad at all. That like when she was missing, I was like, that's
I
unfortunate,
felt
but
really
okay.
silly.
oh, they okay. I mean, hello Nikash. That is the guy from Experion that I kinda know through another person.
Ah,
He just wrote in
Why
the chat, "Was a pleasure
so
working with us." It was a
so
pleasure working
secretive?
with
it
you
was
as well.
pleasure working with you. I really would like to see XPEvo 2424. So if you could nudge Mel to respond to me so we can have our post event meeting, would love that. So but yeah, no, the Experion people were so cool. All of them, legit all of them. Sunghi, bro. Sunghi, what is their IT tech guy? And he legit, oh, she's on a 2-week vacation. Go figure.
Deserved.
Germans and their vacations, bro, really mad. How dare they
I'm on
have a
vacation
work-life
now.
balance? How dare they have a work-life
I mean,
balance?
do Germans have a work-life balance?
Compared to
The way that
Americans, yes.
Yes.
nah, yeah, compared to Americans maybe, but
In fact, from an American perspective, and I say this in the nicest way possible, you guys are very lazy. like like you guys take your time when it comes to projects, while in the US it is like get it done or you're not gonna have
yeah,
food on
but
the table.
internationally, people still think we are very efficient, even though we definitely aren't.
You were not. No. It
Yeah,
is
if
always a
I
hot
compare
mess.
Germany to Chile, guys, here everything is a fish. So
We like living over 60, very sorry.
I mean, do we? I
uh,
mean, you have to work until 67 or 68. Do we?
the discipline, unlike the US people, I don't like. What I see is I see that each person in their job in their field has a very specific job that they have, and they will not do anything extra. While in the US, it is exactly the opposite. You have your job, but you are expected essentially to basically have multiple hats and go over and beyond what is the scope of your listed responsibilities. Unless you're an hourly employee, then nobody cares. But if you're a salaried employee for a business, you're expected to do multiple things instead of just what you were initially hired for. So
I
that's
think
where
as a
the
German, you just need more vacation
clash.
time because if you travel with Deutsche Bahn, you just have to account for like 1 or 2 extra days.
Yep. Yep. The Ox, the most well-dressed, handsome individual is here, by the
Ox,
way.
what does he feel that Import almost got confused about his sexuality because of you? Interview.
Oh, sorry. Say that again.
No, I already asked the question. I'm not gonna ask it twice.
Oh no, because I was reading what Nikash was responding to Fubs, bro, or Figure. Really mad. I almost became gay because of you, Ox, and it's all your fault. How dare you look so disgustingly handsome? Really mad. Yep.
Can I work for Experian too? Question mark.
I asked Mel and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know where we would put you." And I was like, "All right, I'll take that as a no." She was like, "I don't know what we'll do. I don't know
I
where
mean,
we'll put you." I was like, "A host, your assistant, and event manager." And she was like, "Nope." And I was like, "Okay."
yeah, unlucky. I mean, they already do have a person that is very good making photos, so unlucky.
We
Yeah.
I
can
saw
have
that
many.
I saw that guy so often. I felt like
You know,
if I have
okay.
to name someone I saw the most times on that weekend, I would say that guy from Experian making photos. By a long shot.
One thing about pictures, and because I'm a photographer myself, I got so many, like, okay, the 3 photographers that Doomjack and the 2 Experian guys, they took so many pictures personally of myself, and I have not seen those pictures. I don't know where they are, and I want
From one
pictures.
of them, there are the pictures already uploaded.
Yes, but he took a shit ton of pictures of me, and I know that, and I haven't seen them.
Yeah, I'm also waiting for that. I mean,
So
maybe he still has to process all of them.
Chris, should we
yes,
show
it
what
takes.
We will get them.
should we show what Quilo did to my face?
Did I took a picture of you,
Sure.
Figure?
I guess we can do that. Where is it?
So first off, let me give some context here. Let me find the original picture and you show everybody first what the original picture was.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah, let me find it here in the event photos. It's gonna be a scroll here for a second. There's a picture of me with my mouth open, like reacting to something. I don't know what I'm reacting to here, but I look like I saw somebody die.
We definitely have to make an emote out of that one.
Well, wait. Just wait until I unfortunately have an edited version from our lovely Quilo, who loves making edited versions of my face on multiple things. Um, where? Oh, here's my face. All right.
Atomic sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
I I shouldn't be doing this to myself, but you know what? For content, surely.
You have to.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god, who did
You're an
this?
influencer now. You have to share everything of your life.
You were supposed to show the original one first.
Oh, I don't have the original one.
No, I have the original. Really mad.
Oh yeah, send it to me.
Yeah.
I was about to say, what the fuck am I looking at? This is not the picture I thought we were going to look at. This is very different.
Import Kardashian or something.
Oh, the pictures from Bob was right. Like, did you know? Like, they were posting pictures, and for some reason, Bob was first of all, they had a picture where he had his hands up, like in a roller coaster, and someone was like, "Yeah, you have to Photoshop this." Then
Flip
someone
Sky.
photoshopped it, and
Serve,
then
stop.
literally the next day, someone had a photo where it looks like Bob was like in one of those like looping water slides where you have to stand there and have like
Oh.
cross your arms. And then they also photoshopped him in there. I love it. Like, it's so
Since
Oh,
we're
that
fun.
also
was so
since we're also
good.
showing photos of myself, can I also draw attention to myself even more by saying that I looked like a snack on the podcast because I was wearing a really tight shirt and tight blue jeans, and like my muscles, I saw my muscles and I was like, oh, well then.
You look
That-
nice.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was nice to see myself in that physical form. Outside of that, I'm a thumb. So
Okay, I got him. So we go
okay,
from original, right?
we go from original, yes. Okay,
To
there we go.
Giga Chat Import.
Right. Okay.
To I don't even know what this is.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
Also, Lime, your cam died, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's
Only for
only on
you.
this thingy. On the other one is working.
Oh,
I
It's
can
on
okay.
still
this
see
thing.
her. Oh, there's also a meme
This is
from like Spam
cyberbullying.
where he's on the stage and he's setting up the monitor so you can see like both of his hands behind the
Thank
monitor,
him.
and they just Photoshop the hands bigger and bigger and bigger.
This
Uh,
is yeah. That is a nightmare fuel, especially that last one.
like the aftermath of this is just so funny. Like people making
My
the memes and everything.
precious.
It's just
It
one
just
guy.
feels
It's just Quilo.
yeah,
It's
that
just
doesn't matter who
Quilo.
it is if it's only one guy, but it's fun because it feels like the event didn't like stop fully yet.
Yeah, I'm sure it could get worse. I'm sure. So probably incoming emotes to the channel probably. I can't wait.
Also,
Dude,
here's the Barbos one.
is so good.
Which
I
Barbos
love the
one?
Barbos on rides, bro. The Photoshop of Barbos on like multiple rides is amazing, by the way.
Oh.
The roller coaster one though, like
Oh my
you gotta
god.
do the roller coaster one.
I don't know where it is. It's not in
Oh my
event photos, I think.
gosh. The
No,
roller
it was
coaster
on
one.
event photos. I
I
saw
Oh, I
it
got the
found it.
roller
I
there.
found
coaster
it.
one. There's two of them.
Yeah, I found it.
I'm a fan of anyways.
It's amazing. The thing though
That's
with Barbos, I really like his
Uh,
smile. I don't know why, but if he's smiling, I just feel like I'm happy. And the fact that he was not only there, but also his twin brother, I was in heaven.
Chris, do the other one.
The which one?
The one that I sent, the first one that I sent.
Oh shit, Barbos is here.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello, Bubbles.
He's been on the chat the whole time, man.
Yeah, Bubbles, you want to go to Phantasialand so we can get the real reaction?
Oh my god.
Honestly, Barbos and yeah, okay. Tobal saying Barbos and Azok's hugging was my favorite moment at XPEvo, and honestly, it was so insanely wholesome to see them just like be able to like run the losers bracket together. That was so exciting, and I wish that Azox could have made it to the grand final, but the fact that they like he did super well was insane. Also, the fact that the four main shift players, which was Letster, Ratchet, Azox, and Barbos, the fact that they all made top 20 is crazy.
It's
Yeah.
really impressive.
Fegir was non-existent, KW.
Yeah, that was very not impressive.
That's why I say the main
Hey,
shift
you were
players.
impressive. What do we what do you want us to say?
You know, when you like, you know, in especially in the semifinal with Tween, like if you look at the clip and you look out for when Barbos is standing in the air and running, like by the time Azox actually is in the finish, he's already in the middle. He's like where he's almost there already. It's so I don't know. Like also like seeing that in live was really it was really
It's also
great.
the fact like the raw emotion on stage was there way beforehand. I'm walking downstairs during like top 20 day or something. I forget. I can't remember if it was yesterday or yesterday, if it was Saturday evening or like Sunday morning, but like both. First, I walked down to check out the TO desk and see like how things are going now that things are finally moving along. And then I hear out of nowhere, and it was Barbos. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then not even a minute later, I hear yeah, and it was Azox.
You know what? I
I was
posted the
like,
video
oh,
when I was downstairs. Because there was one server that didn't start immediately like the other ones, and that was Asox playing. So I was like, I was checking on his PC, and I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna make it. And then I told Evan, oh, I'm gonna record this moment because Asox is gonna win this. So I was like, this recorded, and you can actually see on the video how I shake because he screamed so loud that I was so scared. And it looked like he was like, yeah! And I was like, oh my god. He was so loud. And I was like, yeah, no, that's. And I
Do
was
we
like,
know?
should I pause this or not? And I paused it anyway. You can
I
see
just
the
post it
shakiness.
anyway.
yep.
There's
Do we know if there's a second player that like hit his fist on the desk? I know that Barbos did, but did anyone else as
Grenati
well?
did. Grenati had
Granadi
that.
did.
When Grenati made it to grand final, he was like, yeah, and like
Yeah, no,
banging on
that,
his
but
desk.
yeah, but that's because he was happy, not out of frustration. That's
Oh,
not
out
the
of
same.
frustration?
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
but it
know.
probably would have been me.
If anybody deserved to have that kind of reaction, it was probably Stuffs with how he got like
Oh yeah.
did not. I felt like I legit felt bad for Stuffs. Like
I did as well. I mean, especially, if he like crumbled under the pressure and would have played bad, I would be like, yeah, mate, just the experience, but
yeah,
he played really well. He kind of deserved it.
yeah.
If you just look at it from like an outsider's perspective, he deserved to like win at least one of those two very close rounds. But in the end, he didn't. That's just how it goes, and that's how
Yeah.
finalists works. So, but you
It,
can feel with
and I know
him,
people
really.
feel heartbreak for Tween, and there's like multiple reasons why you would feel heartbreak for Tween, but also it's one of those things where it's like I feel like for Stuffs it was way more like it was much more harder because of the fact he had such a lead, and it was 4 rounds in a row. I think he had 4 or 5 rounds
I think
that he
4.
had. Yeah, he had a lot of rounds opportunities, and he just wasn't able to get it. While Tween, I think, had a little bit less, and he only had one person to worry about compared to two. So, like Stuffs literally had two guys 2v1ing him because like they both like mentally agreed with each other to like gang up. Like they straight up were fist bumping each other once they got to finalist mode. Like that's how like Piranha and Azox were like working together to make sure that Stuffs didn't make it through.
Yeah, and
Um
also the thing with Tween is that he was in a big lead and he started making unnecessary mistakes in the later half of the match. So he kind of like, obviously, the fact that whatever happened to him, and as far as I was watching the clip from Trilux where you can
yeah.
see it a little bit up close. I also don't understand how he got the slowdown there. I mean, I still didn't see the replay completely close up, but I saw some people crashing there and getting a slowdown
Oh,
for
I
deserved
He's
reasons.
was
But
from
when you
it
look
was
at
242,
explained.
Tween,
right? I
he's
think.
so further left.
He was horizontal, he was completely flat, and basically he triggered the crash mechanic because he jumped too far to the
No,
right, although he was
I know
level.
that,
But
but if you look at it, and I know the angle that you have to have for that, that is really unlucky what happened to him, because
yeah,
that's not an angle where you're like, yeah, it's gonna happen. It's an angle where if you just look at it and that angle, you're surprised by that angle already triggering that effect. I know that that effect was the reason he got a slowdown, but it just doesn't look like it should happen with that angle.
well,
That's the
not
thing.
everybody did, Shorty, so I had to explain it, nerd. All right, listen, bro.
Yeah, but you made it sound as if you're explaining it to me.
That's because I was.
By the way, we have another
Uh,
cursed Photoshop of the Ice Gang. If anybody wants to see that.
Okay,
I
let's
mean,
go. We're
Yeah,
ready.
Ice Gang got opaled.
oh wait, I need to. Oh
Opal,
god, oh
bro.
god, oh god.
Poor Opal. I guess we should maybe we could also maybe announce that Opal's back in Evo, which is really cool.
I mean, now you already did announce it, so yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's already been announced internally, but like, yeah,
Welcome back,
Opal's
Lime.
back. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, Opal. And I mean, when did he leave? Because he probably left before I joined.
No. He left like a couple months ago. It
Oh,
was only gone for a little while. He was seriously considering quitting Trackmania. And I mentioned this also during the Ice Cup too. It was because I gave some backstory on it. I was like, yeah, he was seriously considering quitting Trackmania. He wasn't enjoying it. He took a couple week break from Trackmania, came back, said he just wanted to kind of do his own thing, and we respected that. When I saw him at the event and everything, and I think, of course, a lot of Evo people did as well. We were like, "Hey, we miss you. We want you back." But I told him, I was like, "Hey, I want you back, but let me tell you right now, whatever you choose, we support you. And if it's not with us, we get it, and like we support you regardless, and we just want you to be happy, and I just want you to be happy. But if you come back, when you decide to come back, we'll accept you with open arms." And I think that potentially resonated with him, and so he's back, and I'm happy for it because Opal was the coolest dude on the couch. Like he was nervous about the interview with the Ice Cup interview, but he was super chill, and like he seemed like a natural getting interviewed. So yeah, I'm happy Opal's back. He's a super
I mean,
chill
was
dude.
it partially due to the ice changes then that he wasn't motivated anymore?
It could have been. It possibly could have been. I don't know the exact details as to why he felt the way he did, but it wasn't anything to do with Evo or anything, and he mentioned that multiple times. It was nothing against like the org or like anybody in the org. It was strictly him and his relationship with the game. So, and
Right.
that happens. It happens a lot. And I think another thing that we can mention is like Deska, for example,
Yes.
who is no longer going to be in Trackmania anymore. Deska's made a tweet explaining that he is like XPEvo was his last Trackmania event, and he's going to be leaving Trackmania
At least for the time being.
for the time being.
With
And
Trackmania people, you never really are sure. I mean, there's a
right,
certain someone that is playing in the highest league right now that also said he's gone forever. So
yeah.
you never know.
It's sad, but at the same time, I know Deska's been talking about this for a while, and I would probably if I would rather him take whatever time he needs to just get away than continue to force himself to play, because he has opened up multiple times about how tough it's been for him with
I think
Trackmania
it's
and
gonna
his
do him good.
expectations for himself. So I'm hoping that if he returns, I'm excited for his return. If he doesn't, I mean, then that means he's found something that is worth more while. And of course, real life comes first more than anything else. So I'll miss
Yeah.
him, but also I'm happy if he's happy. So
Yeah.
well,
I mean, nothing more to add to that. Basically, just you just wish that the reason. I mean, obviously, you just wish that taking a break from Trackmania is actually what he needs and is gonna help him.
yeah. Also, Fabs, Fabs, my guy, is just became a Evo casual team member. So welcome, Fabs. Now you get the big welcome, bro.
Welcome.
So welcome to Evo,
Welcome.
my guy. Fabs, really chill dude, by the way. So happy to have him, and can't wait to hopefully have a good time all together for the next year. I'm sure some of you are wondering about XPEvo and everything, and we've kind of already talked just a little bit about it as far as 2024 is concerned, but probably not going to find out for a little while. But as soon as I know, and as soon as I get the yes, 2024 is happening, um, we'll make an announcement probably, and just go ahead and announce it early. Also, that way we can start planning early because there were so many things that we wanted to do, not just for tournament wise, but also for stream wise, side event wise. There's so many things that we can improve in the events. It was a great events, but there were so many things that could be done better and optimized. So, and we've been listening to your guys' feedback, and if you still have feedback, please give us your feedback on it in the XPEvo Discord, and we'll update as we know more. But I mean, the team at Evo wants to do it for 2024, and we want to definitely continue it again. And as far as Evo's motto going forward, we'll do online events where we can. We'll continue doing our stuff as we normally do. Probably gonna take a bit of a hiatus for most stuff until the end of the year. We'll do a couple casual events here and there, like we're doing the fall campaign things together. So if you guys want to join us for the fall campaign, we'll be doing it in the public channels in our Discord and our regular Evo Discord. So you're always welcome to join. But yeah, outside of that, we're just gonna kind of chill and play some Euro Truck Simulator or whatever we want to play and just vibe. We'll have Drop Gears podcasts episodes when we can, but we're also gonna just kind of do that as we please, and yeah, we're just gonna chill. We're
By
gonna
the way,
be
you do know that if
chilling.
you want me on the couch next year, you have to pay me, right?
Wow,
I'll let you know my
Same.
event rate in
wow.
Discord, okay?
Okay, he just let me know right now, bro. My budget cannot afford
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
My budget cannot afford
You,
that.
you think about this very strongly. You need me.
Whoa,
You need me.
whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, like, can if I tuck you in at night, will that compensate for that hefty cost there?
Um,
I mean, €2,
I
bro. I don't know if I
we
can
can
do €2.
we can negotiate. You can
I
also
don't.
just give me 2 coach instead, maybe.
That's more than €2. Like,
Shorty
what? Are
just
you
took
trying
a
to rip me
beer,
off,
that's
That's true,
bro?
fine.
actually. That's actually more.
He wrote in my
Nah,
DMs €2, and I'm really mad. I can't afford that. What are you talking about, bro?
uh,
Yep.
thank you, Susan. Susan just wrote in the chat you were always second choice anyway. I mean, to be fair, he did ask me after Lime, so I guess that's true. Yeah, no.
I mean, we were on my stream talking about that. I said about. I mean, I started with the idea. Then Import said yes, and then we called you. Yeah. Not even second, but third.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Surely. Oh,
Okay, hold
well,
on. Can we get an update on Gecko? Did he PB yet? Did you?
yeah, did you PB yet?
I don't think he did after.
Oh, now her camera is lagging.
Small peepees.
Who sits behind your account? So who to DM? If we're talking about Evo Trackmania account, it's usually Chris, but you can you can DM any of the admins, like me or Atomic or Chris or XLRB or Breaker, Snicks, and so on.
You know what was really cool? Like also on Thursday when I arrived, I had a little bit of downtime before we had to go to the podcast and everything, and there was a different event in Cologne, so I just walked there half an hour because, as it turns out, and I knew that, and I wanted to meet him. My manager back in the day when I was playing for Euronics Gaming was there at that event because he is now the manager from Esports, like which is a pretty big German organization that is also seated in Berlin, and I had a really nice talk with him. Like that was already a really cool start to the week, even before we did any Trackmania related stuff.
Yeah.
Because obviously he played a big role in what I did in Trackmania for like some time, and he's just in general also a really cool person and a really nice person to talk to, and I really enjoyed talking with him again.
There was also Puggington's is his name and everything. there's also people who were doing really cool initiatives within Trackmania and everything, or like also like with a mix of real life and everything. And Puggington's was talking about a project that he's working on with Uniliga and like youth and Trackmania and everything. And I told him to reach out to me, and I hope he does because it sounded super super cool. Um, but yeah, like it just kind of going off of what you said, like for you, you met them before the event, but for me, it was like Puggingtons and just kind of like cool things, like to kind of there. So many different people attended the event that they all have like different things that they're also doing, which were really cool. I mean, of course, Kem, like outside of him saving for us, I mean, Kem always is doing like really cool things and whatnot. I mean, we had multiple personalities and people there who were also having issues. Frickin' New Lake, if he's still here, has his just announced his mini RPG that's happening in France.
That is
Massive
insane.
tournament, which is pretty crazy, and they have a €1,000 prize pool. That's gonna happen in May, so like definitely check that out. Um, it's in France, really mad, but you know what? It's okay. I'm supportive of it regardless.
I mean, about the Uniliga, actually, there is. I mean, I was also like while I was studying, also looking into that, and they did like a poll on what kind of games they may be interested in getting. But Trackmania was on the poll, but nothing really came out of that.
Yeah,
Sad. That would be
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Even if I'm not studying anymore, I'd still like to see that happening. Because in France, it already is a thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Germany is still on its way for like esports and acceptance and everything. A very
Yeah,
slow way. Oof. But it's still on its way. but
it definitely is.
and
Depending on
I
who you
think
ask.
those initiatives would be really cool because in the U.S. they were starting those. And in the U.S. to be fair, they really haven't been that successful. But I feel like in Europe, it has a higher potential to be more successful just because of how esports culture is with the esports culture in Europe in general is very different. And I feel like if it were able to get into those areas, I feel it would be a way bigger success than what it would in the States because the States is a for fun region. So I say that with love. Um, yeah. Wow. Also Raveout said never serve an Austrian schnitzel with Hawaiian sauce, which I didn't know that was what happened. I remember schnitzel being oh, I remember. There was schnitzel with like a Hawaiian pineapple thing, and I remember now
Oh,
for the food. You know what? I didn't even get to enjoy the food because I was so sick to my stomach from anxiety. It was that bad. I didn't eat for
Oh, the
24
catering?
hours.
holy
There
shit.
was from Friday to Saturday, I did not eat for 24 hours. That's how
Oh, you were
anxious
fucked
and nervous
up,
I
How?
was.
man.
God, oh god.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I
was sick
didn't
to
eat
my
much
stomach.
either, but not that bad.
Yeah, I was literally like having an internal meltdown, and I don't know that's why I say like on the stream and everything, I have no idea how I was able to keep it together and make it look like nothing was wrong because in my mental headspace and everything and even inside my body everything was like screaming. So
I mean, maybe next year then you can enjoy the food because as far as I can tell and as far as others said that the food was actually pretty good.
Yeah, the food was really good. I mean,
it
I
was for
personally
what I
was
tasted.
I was really tired, like sleepy as fuck, and I was really hungry the 3 days. So
I
I
had
ate the
the
food, and it was really good.
spaghetti with first I did have the regular spaghetti with the regular meat sauce on Friday.
Mm,
That was before I started like
feeling
having massive
bad.
anxiety. And that was the last meal that I had. So like that's why I remember it. That was really good. And then the I think I tried to eat some chicken and it just didn't happen for lunch. And then they for dinner, I also think they had on Sunday it was like a Alfredo pasta. Like they had noodles with Alfredo sauce. And I had that that actually did make my stomach upset. Like, we'd be we'd be doing a segment, My stomach would be like, "You need to use the bathroom like right now." Like, it was so bad. Like my
Oh, I
stomach was like,
hate
Dude,
"Raw."
before no, I arrived on Thursday, and with Gecko we went for a kebab. And the thing is that the guy at the kebab place, he took the money with his hands, and then with the same hands, without even washing them, he started making the kebab. And I was like, I'm gonna get sick from this. And it happened on Friday. I was having the worst like, I don't know, tummy pain ever. And I was like, I just want to make it from today. I just want to make it from today. And I was so pissed that the kebab place, I knew, I even though I ate it because I was fucking hungry, but I still ate it because, oh my god, I wish I didn't eat that, because that killed me. And then at night I couldn't sleep, and yeah, I was tired. I literally was tired and sleepy the whole event.
You
I
know
had
what
no
my
energy.
favorite thing was though? That pudding. There was a like
Oh, the
chocolate
pudding
pudding
was
with like
so
little
good.
vanilla cream on top, and that was like the
Oh
best thing
yes,
ever.
it was so good. I mean, I also like the one that it was like with a strawberry. It was like brownie-ish, like pudding. I don't know if it was pudding, but it had a strawberry on top. It was on that was for Saturday, something. I
Mm.
don't remember. It was really
Yeah,
good.
I
I fucking love it.
remember that when you saw that they have this, you were already like really happy about, oh my god, I'm gonna eat one of those later.
I literally,
I think it
I
was Saturday.
I was like, oh, there's dessert. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick up my food and I'm gonna pick a dessert immediately, because I know that when I come back, there probably won't be any. So, yeah.
Nice,
Yeah, I mean, food
nice.
is an interesting thing. I had like 3 kebabs, and the first one was the worst. Not a good start to Cologne. But the second
No.
one was really nice. The one I shared with Barbas was the best one. Maybe because Barbas was there, but already before I met him, the one was really good.
When you guys are talking about kebab, there was a like it wasn't a dinner place though. It was a Israeli like falafel and like whatever else it was, and it was I don't remember, but it was really good. It was like wraps with falafel and um, like beef meat dings. Maybe Atomic remembers in chat, but like yeah, that place. It was right across. It was literally right on the corner, next to like the Mr. Baker or whatever, and it was really good. And I had that on Thursday, I think, and yeah, it was delicious. That was like right by the venue. Also, the fries place was good too. Although at the fries place, I just had currywurst because I really was craving currywurst when I saw it.
I
Dude, you
remember you
know what?
bought
It
2.
was really good, the Korean food that we ate.
Ah, yeah, it was Kani Imbis. It was shawarma and falafel.
The Korean was a little bit weird being outside.
The
Yeah, the
Korean
being
restaurants,
outside was like completely question mark, but the food was really good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, the Korean barbecue restaurants, I
I mean, it did
yeah,
taste great, but I can tell you one thing. Like
I would
the
never
whole
go again.
setup of it, like I watch Korean dramas, I watch Korean shows on Netflix, and the whole concept of it just seems way better than for me personally it actually
Please,
was.
whatever you do, please, please, please do not take that restaurant as Korean barbecue because that was not Korean barbecue. That
Yeah,
was that was not legit Korean barbecue.
not
First
quite. Yeah,
First off, the banchan, which is the side dishes, there was no proper banchan there. Like the side dishes were almost non-existent.
yep.
Also, the grill, typically at a Korean restaurant, the grill is inside the table, not
Yes,
sitting on a little pot on top.
It wasn't. I mean, it's not even grilling. It's just frying
Ryan.
with those kind of things. Like it's not grilling. It's frying. That's a big
It's
difference.
it's grilling.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, but it's not the
It's
same as
grilling.
actually grilling it with like
I am the
coal.
English speaker here, really mad. It is grilling. But for the for the for the No, like the little pot thing on top or whatever the heck it was. You don't have that. It's in the table. Also, they typically give you like vegetables and onions and everything. And typically, what you do is you throw the vegetables and the onions on there first, and you let the onions caramelize on top of the grill, and then you put the meats on the grill. But since you didn't have that, you had just the meats, and the meats were sticking to the grill, which was really annoying. Yeah, I did not enjoy that place. It was not Korean barbecue. And so therefore, if anybody comes to Frankfurt, I must take you to actual Korean barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we can do that once, because I was actually kind of looking forward to that, and I was a little bit, I mean, not sad, but it was a little bit weird. Like, I had to wait 1 hour to, like, both get my food and to drink something, and at that
Korean
point,
barbecue with 50 people was not a good idea.
and I did
But we
not
tried.
No, but the
know.
thing is that
I didn't know
no,
we would be outside either, and it was kind of cold. It was a little bit not ideal. I mean,
I
it
sniped a
it
seat,
was
so that's how
fine.
I got inside. Like I just sniped a chair
Yeah,
at a
we were
table.
late because a certain someone had to take pictures of us.
Oh.
No, just kidding.
Wow,
No,
lime.
I mean,
come
Really
on to
I
mad.
call
can't
me out
even
like
I can't
that.
even
Fuck
say
off,
that, because
Shorty.
literally before we started walking, I was like, "Oh, I quickly just changed my clothes away." They were waiting for me, so
Actually, it
Wow.
was you, the
I
one that
know.
took longer. And then, yes, I want a picture, but I don't take more than 5 minutes for a picture. We actually arrived pretty, like, fast, I think. Plus, no, you know what was the problem? Is that when we were walking, no one had the map going, checking where we were going. No one had an idea where the Korean things were, and we were just walking. And then I don't know who asked, where are we going? And then they were like, oh yeah, we don't know. Maybe we can check out now. And we were already walked like 15 minutes or something. I
I
was like,
actually
what?
admire that person in front, because how do you have that kind of confidence just walking somewhere and be like, "Yeah, this is gonna be fine. I don't know."
Atomic, although I just now messaged you. Because Atomic said we had to turn off your laptop 3 times in port because it kept on booting up and creating a heat bomb on Breaker's back. My
That was one
laptop,
of the reasons, yes.
my laptop is it's special. I mean, it's from 2017 or 2018, so that should explain it. But the thing is, with the battery on it is weird, so you have to keep it plugged in, otherwise it'll turn off automatic. It'll go into sleep mode automatically if you like unplug it. And if the guys unplugged it before turning it off, it likely went into sleep mode and was constantly turning on and off, and that's why.
Yes,
So
probably.
so that is probably why you guys had a massive heat bomb on your back. Because you have to turn it off first fully and then unplug it. Otherwise, it will just yeah. So and sorry Breaker, but he had a nice heat pad if his back was sore. So that's that. Yeah. Bro,
There are worse things happening.
I still need to watch Sunday's VOD because I really want to analyze, like, so I've been watching the VODs. I watch Friday's VOD and I watch Saturday's VOD
So
to like
you watched like them completely, not just just skipping through a little bit, but you watched them
I
fully.
not fully. I watched only my parts for the most part.
The ego. No, just kidding. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, but yes,
Oddball.
the ego, but more to like analyze and see what I did wrong, which was mainly when I would get caught up on something and I still do it. The example, saying like a ton of times, making ums, ahs, e's, and o's, and all that. Like I just literally said right now unintentionally. That thing I definitely would like to cut out. I'd rather just do like a silent pause than say and all that
Oh yeah,
stuff.
but that's super difficult in general.
It is, but still it's something that needs to be worked on. That, and also the fact that I noticed really badly that I legit was moving nonstop in my seat. It was either my leg twitching or my leg bouncing or me adjusting in my chair like every 5 seconds. I would like do weird things where I'd like lick my lips and all this stuff. Like,
Yeah, but I think that is more due to the anxiety and just being nervous. Like, if you would be
Yeah.
less nervous and if you do this again and be more comfortable, then I think you just naturally move less.
I still moved even when things started calming down. So nothing changed.
Yeah, but how do you want to improve that then?
In
I don't know.
fact, you want to know what happened? At the end of Friday, where basically my entire soul left my body, um, the thing that actually happened is I actually calmed down. My speech became more clear and everything because I was just so tired and so exhausted. So probably I should start taking Adderall. Anyways, um, that is, yeah, I just noticed a lot of those kind of things. So I'm interested to see how Sunday is. I haven't watched Sunday yet. I kind of want to watch it with my mom to be like, "Hey, look at what I did." But I'll find.
Actually, I did
I'll
not
watch it
show
at some
that my
point.
mom either. I just showed her some random pictures and she was like, "Oh, aha, okay." Kind of like that. No, but I think you're also it's exaggerating. Difficult word because I mean I did notice that you shift around, but I mean you also I don't know. I never knew like where to look. Like, do I look at you when you're speaking? Do I look at the camera? But if you just look randomly at the camera while someone is speaking to you, it's also kind of weird. So I
Yeah.
just moved my head way too many times
When people are
probably as well.
speaking with
But
one another, I wasn't concerned about where I was looking because, like, me, it was you, the laptop, the crowd sometimes, or the camera. That, and I just kind of did that circle, not intentionally, but just it's kind of how it is. The way I treat it is like if I'm having a conversation with somebody, I'm not going to look at you directly the entire time. I may look elsewhere. I may look like
yeah,
at you and then somewhere else, and kind of vice versa. So I wasn't too worried about that.
The least thing that I wanted to do was looking at the camera because first of all, I was feeling so fucking uncomfortable sitting there. First, because I didn't really fit the couch. Like, if I sit way back, my leg would be like this. You know, like
should have
yeah, I
done that
didn't
for
fit
one
the
like for
couch.
one part maybe.
I
Oh,
didn't.
because you were sitting so far up on the couch. Okay,
Because
I get
she's
it now.
just too small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm way too small. So if I sit like far back and my back touching the back of the couch, I would my feet would. I showed you,
Would you
and
prefer a
then
couch or would you prefer a desk with a chair?
I would prefer 100% the desk with a chair. And second of
Maybe we
all,
try that.
the I
Kinda
know
like the
I
couch.
kind of
I
look
liked the
better
I
on one
liked my
side.
sofa or my little seat.
Like this side is way better than the other one, and I was showing all the time the side that I'm most comfortable with myself. So I literally the least thing that I wanted to do was looking at the camera because I knew that I would look so fucking pepega. So I was like, yeah, giga uncomfortable. And then and then I was trying to because the I was just uncomfortable the whole time with how I was sitting, you know, and I was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck anymore. Just look at import Shorty, and hopefully something good will come out from it. But yeah, no, that, at least for me, the whole event that was the most uncomfortable thing
I
is that I wasn't feeling comfortable within myself, you know.
I talked
So
with Vixa, and he was telling me that he was talking to his parents during the events, and his parents said, "Yeah, we've been watching the stream, and there's this one guy sitting in a couch." By it, like, there's two people on a sofa, and then there's one guy sitting in a chair by himself, and the guy in the chair looks extremely comfortable. Like he's got his leg crossed and everything, and like he looks very, very comfortable in that chair. And Vixen was like, "I think that's a compliment." And
I
I was
think
like,
and
so.
"Yeah, I
yeah,
think
it
so."
is what you're supposed to. Like I remember, like I did watch some videos, for example, of LEC when they do the after match
Yeah, the post
section,
show. Hmm.
and I was looking how Shocks sits on there, or Laurie, or anyone, and I was like, oh yeah, they are sitting like really comfortable. You can see the whole outfits and the leg and everything, and I was trying to mimic that. But the thing is that if I was sitting like far from the back of the couch. The thing is that I was looking all the time like as if I was ready to run away at any given second. So
I was trying to mimic my hosting after Dash. I don't know if anybody knows Dash from NALCS,
yes,
but he is a fantastic host, and unfortunately, he's no longer the host of NALCS, which makes NALCS garbage. But Dash is insane at what he does. He's first off good looking. Two, he's a great host. He's able to essentially direct questions to each individual on the desk, make sure that they're each highlighted and each like whatever expertise that they have. And what is Gecko doing? He was
I
like,
don't know. He's distracting me. Okay,
he's
continue.
yeah. So he like Dash. He just has this like perfect like ability to make everybody feel comfortable on that desk, and he just poses really good questions but is also able to keep the flow going. There's never any downtime. He's immediately able to transition to multiple elements at the same time. Now, that being said, we don't know how much actual preparation goes into that as far as whether it's his preparation or it's production preparation because they have teleprompters. We had no teleprompters. The only teleprompter I had was like
You see,
the little PC there, which was just telling me what was coming up and like what kind of little tidbits of information I could get. So we had no teleprompters whatsoever. Outside
I
of
mean, did you
the
use
slide,
Google Slides for that?
we did. We used Google Slides for
Yeah.
that.
When I
Yeah.
saw that and noticed it's Google Slide, I was like, that is weird. But
Yep.
okay, it works.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. Because basically we had a section where it was current right now, and XPEvo would like type in a little box area to give me an update on
Yeah.
whatever was happening, and then on the top right it said up next like what was supposed to be coming, which would always be a match for us since we were the couch or a break.
Or
And
empty
so
because they also didn't know
or empty, yeah, because they never
at
knew.
the beginning.
So like, yeah, but usually SBville would write in there. He when I would be talking, he would never answer. So, um, yeah, it was yeah. Sorry, I have to answer this.
oh, I was
Yeah, no,
actually
but
sad that at the end we couldn't even say goodbye, like properly. The three of
yeah.
us.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it doesn't matter what we do with like eating, but if we go somewhere, it definitely should be like a place where there's enough space for everyone and
Oh
maybe
no,
even
I mean on the
potentially to us
stream,
fully.
but
Oh, you mean
also
on the
that.
stream? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean that's also unfortunate, but I think it was okay. Like it didn't really have to be like content wise. I think for the viewers at that point after the final, you don't want anyone to analyze anything anymore. You just
Yeah, no,
want
of course,
directly
but
to go
like
into the
saying,
celebration.
like having like a full production kind of thing take and then saying goodbye and then
Yeah, yeah.
transmissions on.
Before the final even starts, we could have maybe said something like that.
Yeah. Um, if anybody has any final questions, we're gonna wrap up here kind of soon because we're way over 2 hours at this point, which we knew we were
Yeah,
going to
it's
because we
been
have a
really.
lot to talk
What
about.
do you
We
mean?
have to we have to process our traumas, especially me.
We didn't like.
Trauma
There are so
daunting,
many things we didn't even talk about, right?
Yeah, I mean there'll be a
Mm,
Like,
part two. I expected there to be a part two, like Drop Gears podcast for XPEvo because there was just so much stuff that went on. Like there was so much stuff.
yeah, wait. I scratched you saying something. Is it normal to not congratulate second and third place? And I was actually waiting for Granati and Babas to come up stage, and then I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
Otak was like this.
I don't know. I don't know what the decision process behind that was. I could have put my foot down and had the second and third. I could have just done it, and I should have done it. But I was just being told what's going to happen at the end of the match. You're going to have the winning player come up, hoist the trophy, and that like, and then like give the thank yous, and that would be it. That was like kind of the prompt that I was giving. There was a worse idea that we prevented. I wouldn't call it a worse idea. The idea was that when the first place gets their first place, this was the idea behind it. It wasn't even that big of a, like an issue, and I feel like people are like Snix and Chris are a little bit mudded on this still. The idea was that because first place celebrates immediately after their win,
Yes.
would it not make sense to have a small 2-minute pause for the crowd to get out their cheers and the player to like get out their like cheer as well, like, or maybe a minute pause or something, just very brief. Like,
No,
no?
just no.
Okay.
That's a horrible idea. I'm sorry, but that is a horrible idea. I mean, at that point, if you really just want to do it like this, then just stop the match completely. Like, the whole focus from the other players is gonna be ruined. Like, there's no real like if you want to ruin the focus and then continue playing, it's not really worth it. Especially like it's not like you're in the middle of the match and they have time to refocus on it. It's literally at the last moments where also they are already finalists.
Okay. Second option, which was presented by somebody else, and I think it's smart. What if that when a player wins, the map is changed?
I think we should go with the reverse cup mode and actually
I
have.
refuse to do reverse cup mode just because it
Reverse
leads
cup
to
mode
a
is
boring.
difficult. It's
It's
very different.
It leads
or
to a
reverse
boring result,
finalist mode.
unfortunately.
The thing is
I
that
don't-
it's so awkward to like have like the first place get first place, and then we still have to wait for the other people to
Yeah,
finish.
but what's so wrong
when the
about
last
waiting?
I
people to
agree
finish
with this, but the
should be with the
Trackmania
winner.
community is fickle, and this is how it's been for the longest time, and that's why the Trackmania community is so stuck with it. So, Lime, I see what your perspective, but like the old guard of Trackmania is so used to this format that they just don't care anymore. Like
I
this
mean,
is
the
their
thing
format.
with reverse
So
cup mode is that the whole play style changes. Like you can't just say,
yeah,
"Oh, we just
Tim,
do the
thank
same
you.
as before," but it's reverse cup mode. It's just the way you have to approach the game changes with it, and people don't want that. Like
Yeah, the match is
nobody
sacred, and
is
you do not touch it. I
no,
got
but
it.
nobody is mad.
So-
Nobody doesn't like like nobody is against potentially having the first being determined last. But why people are against reverse cup mode is because it changes the playstyle. Instead of racing for first in each round, people are just racing to not be last,
yeah,
and
they safe the
that
entire
is
time.
inherently different, and that's the reason why some people are against it.
There's
Yeah, they
also a
saved the entire time.
difficulty of how reverse cup mode even works. Like, it doesn't work on Nadio servers, so we couldn't have even used it for the finals the way we did. There's also a bunch of other issues, like the British-Irish Trackmania community. I talked to some of them at the event, and they said, yeah, you need to do a bunch of things that actually works properly, and I have no clue.
But I mean, let's be honest though. We've done it for so long. We never really had any big issues. Why is it such a big problem to like wait until the match is over? I know it's a little bit weird to some degree, but at the same time, like it's
Because
just
no other esport does it, and that's why. So like you have to understand from me and Lime's perspective,
no. But
it's
what
a
happens
bit
in
weird.
Formula One esports or like in racing esports in general, and they finish the match and they still have to wait for the others to finish as well? We're not the
I
only ones.
feel like that's different though, because
No,
everybody's
because
typically
it's
finishing.
faster.
Like,
Because for example, we could have like attack finishing okay immediately, and then for the others to be finalists or something, it could be like I don't know, like 10 minutes in between, and then you keep like that momentum of being a final of being a winner or whatever. There, it's like we cannot congratulate the winner because
yeah.
we have to wait for the others to finish. You take the moment for the winner to focus on the other people that are on the other positions that are important, yes, but not as important as the first position. So it's like
It wasn't
yeah, for me
also
it's just
the
weird.
suggestion I have, the suggestion wasn't for all cup matches. It was only for the grand final.
Yeah, only for grand finals.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
that was the only suggestion for it. Like the other ones are fine. I think that's fine because like it's still part of the match and the build up and everything. But it's like when you get to that point where you win like the big prize and you win the trophy and everything, like in most esports, the second you win, you're already up and grabbing the trophy. So Trackmania is a little bit weird because it's a delayed celebration, and so that immediate hype that typically every esport has is not there. That's why that was my idea. So, but if the Trackmania people don't like it, they don't like it. It's not. I'm okay with not. I'm okay with it being the way it is too. It's not a big issue. But I just thought it would make the winner. It would make it more special for the winner. But that's how it be. That's how it be.
I just think that I mean, I get the point, and I also am in theory, I'm also a big fan of reverse cup mode. You know, I personally also with my playstyle when I was like trying these events, like it would have suited me very well. So I have no issues with that. But just in general, it's like the options you have are just kind of not. You just don't really have any really great options. Like nothing is obvious. Like nothing really works exactly the way you want it, and everything you would want to try out has like drawbacks. Like that's the main issue. And I don't
Yep.
think you can just force the whole scene to be like, yep, well, we just do reverse cup mode now because some people are gonna be against that. And I
The
don't know
issue is though
how
is
that
that
should work out.
like there have been multiple times I feel like in Trackmania history where people have tried to introduce something new or something slightly different that like goes against the flow, and it's immediately hit up with no's. And like
I
I'm
mean,
not
it often
saying
was done like kind of badly as well.
yeah, I mean if fair, it's not like I wanted to do it to like be different or unique or like do it badly. It would the whole premise behind it was just so that first place had a little bit more celebration time, and it would be the same for second and third, well, second place as well. It was like that was the only purpose for it. But
No, but I mean the idea is great, but if the solution is sacrificing the integrity of like or like disrespecting second, third, and fourth place that still have to play, then that's obviously worse overall.
do you
Yes.
feel okay, the thing is though, you haven't like okay, and I mean this respectfully, you have not been in that situation, and so this is where I would really like to hear from like Barbos or like Grenadi or something, where the people who have been in who were in that situation, does it really matter to them because they're already having to deal with somebody celebrating, they hear it, would it already not be distracting? Wouldn't their flow technically already be slightly disrupted? Like
I mean, we should
that's
definitely ask those kind of people, especially because they played on the stage. I mean, obviously, I also won some matches, but it's not the same on
Yeah.
stage and grand
it's not
finals. No,
like online
no, it's
is.
not the same
I
at
could
all. I
see
know
how
it.
online
We should
is.
ask like people like Barbos and Granadi for sure.
I could see how online that is disrupting because you're not there. You're not there when somebody's like getting first and there's a big celebration. They're just popping off and at their home or whatever. But like
The thing
in a physical arena, I feel like it's completely different.
the thing is that basically the mode the cap mode has to be, I think it has to be selected on whether you want to showcase competitiveness or to showcase content.
Yeah. I
Because
feel
I
I mean,
think
like
you
if it
know,
is for content, I think it should getting the winner on the last second. It's way better.
I have 2 points that I would like to bring up from the chat because chat is a part of this conversation here. First, Tomac says, "Imagine Grenadi had won. There would have been an alarm in the arena for 5 minutes."
It
That's
would have been
kind of this
crazy.
is kind of why. That's part one, and then Boney also brings up a second point as to another reason why I thought of it. I initially thought of it that way. It felt quite off to stop people from celebrating just to keep the game going. Me and Lime literally were sitting on the couch trying to tell people to calm down during multiple matches in between the rounds to allow the other players to play. I feel like a small and it's a small pause, like a map change or something. Like the map is going to change eventually anyways. why not force a map change? At least you have a minute warm up in between, so that player has like their moments. The other players, they can kind of refocus because they know they have a small minute to just like focus on what's coming up. I don't understand the whole point of the, like, I just feel like the ending could have like a little bit more brevity in between.
I have a
So,
stupid idea.
huh?
So how about, I mean, just as a thought, how about you just stop the match after first player and you just go second, third, and fourth depending on the points they have at
That's
that
what Chem
point.
just was talking
Wait,
about in
Cam said
chat.
that?
Yeah,
Oh, I
Chem
didn't
said
see.
that.
Actually, I know, but I actually did not read that. We had the
I
same
mean, that
idea
would
then.
be really competitive because you.
It would be super fair. It would a little bit.
What if
I mean, if you only care
what if
about
two
first
players are
entry
tied
anyway,
though?
in
You
points.
go by name. No.
What? Well, like, so actually, let's entertain this idea. Chris, I know I have like 5 minutes left. Let's entertain this idea for a second. What if like two players are tied? Would you then combine their prize pool money and then just split it?
I think
And
yes.
just
Actually, yes.
would I
If
think
you're
that would be
speaking
fair, I
only
guess.
about the grand final, but if they do have the same place, like why would it matter? You can have 2 second
Yeah.
places. That's totally fair.
That would be interesting to try. Like,
Or they design it 1v1.
that is a
I think
format
that
I
is,
would be willing to try. Like I think it's something that like should be tried. I don't think it would work well enough. The only thing is it's a risk, right? Because like in an online format that would suck, but in a live format, I feel like that would be better.
The question is like, where do you start with that? Do you only do it for the grand final? Do you
I would
do
say
it?
only the grand final. I don't think you would have to do that for
Yeah,
the
but also in the consolidation final, people are gonna be insane. But I mean, I guess the grand final is
you
a
wouldn't
little
do
bit
it for the
different.
consolidation because you still need to side two people from consolidation
Yeah,
into the grand final.
exactly. But in the grand final, I think that would be fine, and I can imagine that the players would agree with that as well. I mean, inherently, it's actually more fair than having to play out finalists one more time. You know?
Okay, so Doogie said Zerator didn't stop anything when 5K people were chanting "Let happen." Okay, this is I think comparing Ascension and Zerator is like a really bad comparison. Sorry,
Yeah, it's
that
not
I
the
think
same.
it's not the same. Also, their ending event was literally reverse cup, just with
Yeah,
hearts.
exactly. Like he
Yes.
already had something different because of that exact same issue. No, but
Yeah.
I mean, so far from the ones we talked about, I feel like this is probably the best solution and the one that all players would probably tend to agree.
Yeah. Because then,
I can feel like nobody is gonna be like, if you ask this and say that to Granadi, for example, I think Granadi is gonna be like, yep, good idea.
yeah,
We sh-
I could see how, well, also you have the idea that it's like if there is a tie, that you have the possibility of getting more money in general if you were like going to be a lower place, like if you just split the money between the two type players. Like I think that is also something that would like just automatically be like, okay, so if I tie or if like I'm in a certain position, I'm gonna get that money no matter what. Like,
I mean, the only weird thing is that if you're finalist, then you would have to still gather points because otherwise,
right.
what are you doing if you have 4 finalists? They just all get
That's
second.
the only thing, right? So then you would have to probably at that point you would have to go fastest lap at that point to
Nah, you
determine.
don't. You can't go fastest lap. You just have to continue counting points because you have to yeah, you have to continue gathering points.
Well, no, what if we had like a quadruple finalist situation?
Yeah, well then obviously one of them wins and the others have
Or
points.
are
And you go
tied
by
for
the
second
points.
then.
No, they are not tied for second because I'm literally saying they are not
Oh.
finalists. They are still gathering points. So basically, the points limit. Yeah, that's the weird thing.
Oh,
Then
I know what you're
that's
saying.
what I
Okay.
mean.
So
No,
like for that round, because technically it would be ended at that round
exactly.
because first place would get 10 and then whoever finished second, third, fourth, that would be the order.
Exactly.
No, that's not what I mean.
But that's
Wow.
literally
But I guess
just
that's
what you
also
said.
a way of doing.
That's
There are
literally
multiple
just
ways
what
of
you said.
doing it. You could
Because
Yeah, but that
if
would
they're
also
finalists, they
work.
don't get any more points. What are you
no,
talking about?
yeah, but listen, mate. You can literally just also have a mode where
Mate.
they do still get points, right? That was my suggestion.
No, they don't get any points. They just get that round. Like once you're
In-
finalists, you don't get
Yeah,
any
the
more
way
points.
it works in normal cup mode, yes. But obviously you can script it to work differently. You can customize
Save this
anything in
conversation.
game.
Really mad.
I mean, but your
I think
suggestion
we
is
have
probably
to talk
better.
about this in another podcast.
No, actually, it's not ideal. Like everything is not ideal.
How
Like, I don't-
about
I
this
don't-
is your homework for next week? You think about it,
Yeah.
and then we discuss it at the beginning of next podcast.
Aw,
we need to
but I'm
end.
still
Yeah, that's
playing
a-
with my friends, Dad.
I can ask Granadi. I have a 4-tile advantage. No, but
Lucian, you didn't make it in time. We're literally ending.
We're
No,
literally
but that's
ending.
that's a good topic though for next time.
Yeah,
One general
let's
for a
talk about it
podcast.
more about like competitive formats and everything tomorrow. That'll be one of our topics, and we'll just it'll be XPEvo reactions part 2, and maybe we'll maybe we'll react to like some Twitch clips and stuff as well, because there's some funny Twitch clips of different things, and I think it would be cool to
Jesus
react to
Christ.
those moments, especially
There's
with
one that is just out of context.
no, don't talk about it. We'll save it for next week. We'll save it for next week. I know which one you're talking about, but we'll save that for next week. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. You guys are all special. Lime and Shorty, you guys did such an amazing freaking job on the
Thank
Analyst
you.
Couch, and I
You
want
also.
you guys need to definitely be with me again for next year's, if assuming we have it next year. That being said, Joey and
Joey.
we'll see you guys hopefully next week. See you guys.